The Comic-Con that is a mile above the rest returns in 2013, and it's bigger than ever.
That's right. Stan Lee's going to be at Denver Comic-Con this year.
They also have George Takei at Denver Comic-Con 2013.
Plus Kelly Hu and Will Wheaton.
Friend of the podcast, Georges Jonty, will be there. So go online to denvercomiccon.com where you can buy tickets. Stay tuned. VIP tickets for Stan Lee will be available. Welcome to Real Nerds Podcast, unofficially the official podcast at Denver Comic Con 2013. Go online to denvercomiccon.com to buy tickets today. Lots of cool guests. They keep on announcing more. Man of Action's going to be there. It's a Colorado-based animation studio that's responsible for great cartoons like Ben 10 and Ultimate Spider-Man. I just love
Ben 10's really good from what I hear.
Yeah. They were just announced, so they're going to keep on announcing more people. And I just put in our request for interviews, James.
Ooh.
And you know who topped my list?
Joe Kelly?
No, Joe Kelly's on my list.
Okay, good.
But Stan Lee is on the top of my list.
Oh, man, Stan Lee's going.
And, he can call, and I say, Stan, all I want you to say is you're listening to Real Nerds Podcast, Excelsior. If you're listening to this, Stan Lee, call the show and say that, and
I don't even need that. He doesn't have to say anything for me to hug him.
I know, and then he'll ask for security.
Yeah, he will, but I will take whatever.
But be
beating
careful.
they give me.
He's 90.
No, I know.
So don't.
That's why he needs as many hugs as he can get.
So yeah, Denver Comic Con is May 31st through June 2nd, Colorado Convention Center. Be there, or be square.
What else do you have to go do? Like
right? The end of May.
Yeah.
What else are you gonna do?
Is it the same weekend as Pride Fest again this year?
I hope not.
Yeah. Who cares?
I want to go.
I mean, not to say anything bad about Pride Fest, but like.
Well, Laura, we got you
two.
a media pass, so you're going to be stuck at.
Do they have face painting at Comic-Con?
Yes.
If you bring face paint, they do.
I'll paint your face.
I guess
Ladies, everybody listening, guess what? We can announce here that there will now be face painting at.
Brad got my sexual joke.
I was trying to ignore it.
It was great though.
Me too.
It was pretty good.
One of the great things about listening to Real Nerds Podcast is you can log on to tweakedaudio.com. Tweaked Audio has awesome earbuds. Still love my natural V3s, baby.
Oh, they're really nice.
And when you check out on tweakedaudio.com in the promo code area,
and you're looking at the amount you're paying, you're like, this is reasonable, but man, I'd like to pay less.
You know what? You can, James.
What?
One word, REELNERDS. Real Nerds. You get a third off your whole order. Not just like one earbud. Let's say you order 50 of them, third off all of them.
The way you did the letters there was like a rap song. Like,
it was.
Yeah, that was good.
I'm very rhythmic.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that.
We gotta add like a dubstep beat under that and make some money.
Hey, Brad, drop me some beats.
Skrillex style.
Yeah, on it. I'm
Real
pressing buttons.
Nerds Podcast and tweakedaudio.com.
Oh,
a third off your full order for all your earbuds.
I hit the off button. I'm sorry.
Asshole.
I'm so glad that there was no audio under
I
that.
absolutely love you, and I think you are very talented, but that is not one of your talents.
You know what? I'm the next Vanilla Ice. Boom.
Yeah, that worked out well for him.
Oh, you mean you're gonna be on the
You know what?
surreal world?
You know what? I'm going to get
14?
a lot of money. I'm going to blow it all, and then in 20 years, I'll be in an Adam Sandler movie. So, guess I win.
He was actually pretty good in that.
He was. He's really good in it. Of course, we're talking about That's My Boy.
Yeah.
That's what we do on Real Nerds Podcast, James. You know that?
Yes, I've been doing this for 2 years almost.
I know. Every week, we go see a new movie, and then we podcast our experience to the world.
Yeah.
This week, we saw Olympus Has Fallen. Olympus is the White House, guys.
Yeah. In case you couldn't figure that out. Still,
Yes.
I'll save reviews for later, but man, that title's not very good.
No, it's not. But we also talk about what we've been watching because we're such big movie fans and TV fans, pop culture fans. And you know what? Stay tuned because I'm going to actually debut a new review section on our website. I'm going to review Tomb Raider. I'm going to put it up on the website.
Oh, dude. Oh, man.
So that should be fun. Because you know what? We haven't done a Real Gamers in a long time.
That's true.
So,
and I've been itching. Because I've been not watching movies and instead playing lots of video games.
I know you have.
So that's not a bad idea. What I just realized is the title Olympus Has Fallen is so bad that everybody went to see The Croods this week. That movie is called The Croods.
Yep. Don't be crude. Hey, that's what AMC told us today.
Speaking of being crude, we should probably do the mail.
No, dude, can I?
Or we
t-
could
tell
let
what
people
else we do
listening,
on our show?
or let
Yes.
people know who's on the show and what these voices are.
No.
Oh,
dude.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
I don't care about that shit.
Well, Dan
There's
hasn't
only
said
one
anything.
voice that matters, and that's mine.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Ryan. I'm the host of Real Nerds and the most charismatic one.
Take
in
your
front of
hands
me
off me.
is,
Brad,
and in front of him is,
James. Oh yeah.
and in front of
diagonal.
James is,
Dan.
hey, and
Hi,
next to
Dan.
James is,
I'm Laura. I'm Ryan's wife. He says he's the host, but I'm pretty much the boss of him. So
Whoa.
whoa,
man.
my wife's so cool.
Wow.
There's a tectonic shift here.
Welcome back, Dan.
Yeah,
Our first
Dan,
returning
yeah.
host ever. guest
Yes,
ever.
oh, that's true.
So is
yeah.
that an actual? Is that the fact now?
That
yeah,
is a
no,
fact.
that is a fact.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
You're
thank
a
you.
Nobody else
repeat
has done
offender.
it
Yeah,
twice.
look it up.
Yeah.
2 weeks in a row, we've had people on the show.
Yeah.
We must be reaching a whole new audience in
Ooh,
Littleton,
man.
Colorado.
Last week was wild.
I pimped y'all's.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
You're
basically
welcome.
what happened is we ran out of things ourselves to say, so
Yeah.
we need people to fill in. And
yeah.
And this is the
Lift
first
us
time
up.
my wife's listened to the show in 2 years, so
As of
appreciate it,
I
honey.
do.
She's
I
not listening now.
to like the first 20 minutes of it on Stitcher, and then I sometimes listen to the whole thing. But then,
that's where the numbers come from. Brad's always concerned about the people who turn it off after 20 minutes.
just
now we
my
know it's
wife.
all you.
yeah,
Can we make a comment about how bad the name Olympus Has Fallen now, or should we make it later?
You by God.
It is so bad. They had a early title card. It was like 5 seconds in, Olympus Has Fallen,
Yeah.
and then they have the whole opening sequence, and then the
Oh.
wife dies, and that's when they could have had the title card.
Yeah.
But they would have confused a lot of dumb people. that's
Because they would have thought her name was Olympus.
or something. Yeah.
I'll save it for the review of the movie. I kept on
that's
thinking
good.
for something to happen.
it's also so bad, I'm struggling to figure out how to make a pun out of it for the title of this week's episode.
Olympus has shit.
Yeah,
We'll help you.
yeah, we'll figure it out
Olympus is
from now.
hey, watch your language.
fan mail.
Fan mail.
We got one piece of fan mail this week. Besides all the nice tweets from our guests from last week, we really appreciate
absolutely.
it.
Who were really cool.
Oh yeah,
it was
by the
really
way,
fun having them on.
anytime you have filmmakers on,
Yeah.
is always fun.
I mean, that episode is wild and long, and you should go listen to it. But
And shockingly, with all that time, Maddie forgot to pimp his movie 5 Steps. So
oh, that's true.
I'm going to throw it in right now.
Well, they talked about a lot of the stuff they're doing, so
Yeah.
They did. Well, I asked him what he was doing, and then he just started talking about other stuff. So
yeah. Well,
he's a very involved filmmaker with lots of projects going on. So
Yeah.
that's okay.
Well, they all are.
Yeah.
yeah.
So we appreciate him being on the show. Hey, if you want to be on Real Nerds Podcast, direct message us on Twitter or send us an email, and you can be on the show.
Or it's easier than that. You can just call.
You can call.
just call anytime.
720-6nerds5. Hey, you know what our tweet handle is? Is that what it's called? A
Twitter handle.
The
Twitter
Twitter
handle?
handle. Yeah.
Do you know what it is, James?
It's Plan 942.
Dude, that's your email, you idiot.
Oh,
this
sorry.
is why I'm the host. It's
All right.
at real_nerds. Email us, realnerds@gmail.com. You should visit our totally badass new website, realnerdspodcast.com. It looks so nice. Did you guys read my article about Robert Downey Jr. movies?
I did.
It
Well, I
took
didn't
me
read the
like
whole thing.
3.5
It was really
hours
long.
to write.
Yeah. But it's pretty impressive.
Because also I wanted the picture, for the header to be one that isn't noticeable, that like, hey, I took that picture, you fucking asshole. So I searched and I went to like the 10th page and I found that Iron Man one, and it's not credited to anything, so I just took it.
Yeah.
And hey, you know what?
That's how you
It's
do things
also-
on the internet.
It's also, people should just expect it now on the internet, right?
Yeah.
I mean, just like if you take pictures of your wife naked and it gets up on the internet, it's just expected.
Please don't do that.
I don't.
Good.
I'm talking about when Scarlett Johansson
Takes pictures of her wife.
yeah. That's how it goes.
Oh.
So now we can start fan mail. Yeah, only like really one email, and this is from Marcy McGovern, who obviously knows James
Yeah.
because she calls James out in this. She says, "Hello to James and the Real Nerds. It's Ryan and the Real Nerds." Marcy, I just listened to my first podcast. Hey, we're our first podcast
Hey, thank
ever.
you.
Thanks.
Yeah. Well,
Cool. Very good, and I'll listen again. Thank you
What?
very
Oh
much.
man, all right. Well, I feel better about what she's about to say.
But
now.
you know what? She has some feedback for you, James.
Oh shit.
My feedback
dang.
asks for a small change. I think the smooth dropping of the F-bomb is really not needed. That's it. Thanks. Thanks, Marcy.
Yeah. So I was thinking about this during the movie because there are some parts of the movie that aren't real exciting. And what I realized is, okay, what is the one piece of like really great? What's the great comment that we get from fans when we meet them? It's that they say like, "I really like you guys because you talk about movies the way that me and my friends talk about movies." And I feel like part of that is that we are, we get on here and we get very comfortable and talk like we do when we're all sitting around. And the truth is, when we're all just sitting around talking about movies, we're 12-year-old boys, and 12-year-old boys like to say because it's just a word. Like
It is.
you know.
I mean, it's.
Do we
I don't
use it
care.
too much? Yeah, probably.
I really
but
don't
fuck
think
it.
we cuss that much. When I listen to the shows,
Well-
I mean, comparatively to some podcasts, I don't think so.
Oh no, well, but that's the thing. Like, yes, us on the internet, we're not that bad. Like, we're not as bad as I've never listened to the Hard On podcast, but I'm pretty sure the Hard On podcast probably talks about a lot of
And
hard
you know
ons.
what? I'm gonna do a public service announcement for Marcy. She should listen to the Amazing Spider-Man one because that is a family-friendly one,
It is.
which we do not cuss except for once that's bleeped out, and one
Well,
time where Brad forgot to bleep it out.
There's a few times it's bleeped out, and
I did
yeah.
miss one.
He did miss
Yeah.
one, but the rest of the time it's really funny.
Yeah,
You should
yeah.
make it. You should, if you're bored one day, and you should make it like the Aqua Teen Hunger Force movie where we cuss, but the beep is underneath the cuss, and you still hear the cussing. That's really funny.
Might be this episode.
That'd be awesome.
Oh, that would be good. The truth is, like, I like that episode so much that I wish it were really easy for us to just like put the show into a program that would just always bleep us, because I think when it's bleeped, it's really funny. Because it draws more attention to it.
That's why when I watch South Park on DVD, I almost like it better on TV.
It's funnier.
They bleep out the
Yeah.
cuss words.
Yeah, I
It
agree.
adds something to it.
Yeah. I think part of it is that there are some people like you say, like, we're not as bad as a lot of the internet, but there are some people who like never say that word and never hear that word.
I know that's weird.
But they're not on the internet because the whole internet is full of
Right. Yeah. Not
Literally
people,
and
not
figuratively.
not the people who are f***s, but people who say fuck a lot. You know.
I guess it wouldn't be too hard
but
for me to bleep everything each
But, I
week.
mean, do you
but
really want more work,
I don't
though?
want. I don't.
That'd be
want
a lot of
to do
work.
that. Yeah.
yeah, I'm not getting paid, Marcy, so it's like
We have been paid, Brad. I don't know if you checked our.
I don't
Yeah.
I don't get
PayPal
I don't get a
account.
salary or an
one-
hourly rate for
We have
doing the editing that I
$8
do.
split 3 ways. What's 8 divided by 3? That's
Well,
like
Brad, you know that
$2.87.
if
No,
he
you don't
was
have to do the
aware
math,
that
it's a
the fact that
pension.
You were bleeping out everything. That we would just make it worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. I would say f- all the time then.
Just an hour of just like bleeps.
It just
Yeah. And he'd say it like that, so it all get beeped together, and then it would sound like he was saying something really bad because it'd just be one long beep. Yeah.
I could even just bleep like innocent things and make it sound like we were.
Yeah.
But you
Just
know,
make it sound
it
worse.
is fun when you listen to the show sometimes because Brad always adds these sound effects. I think you do it to see if we really listen to the show or something.
Yeah, once
Yeah.
in a while.
Yeah.
Well, and part of it,
Whatever's
part of it
most
is
creative.
also what I've noticed is like the episodes where it's a late movie and we're all really tired and it's been a long day. It happens more because I think me for sure, I'm one of those people who I will say it.
But you're an
I'll
English
say
major.
it-
Don't you be able to articulate without using curse words, James?
Oh, thanks.
You were about to say, "Oh, f- you." I know
was.
you were.
I was. No, because it goes unfortunately it goes the other way because I look at it, I'm like, oh yeah, it's really just a word.
Yeah, totally.
It is no different than saying and I don't say a lot when I talk, or at least I try not to. Instead, I say f.
And it's not aggressive. It's just
I
you
think
being
saying
lazy.
F instead of makes you more articulate.
Yeah, it's a long.
You know,
word.
that's the only thing I do think about when I'm podcasting because normally I just talk, and keep on going.
Yeah.
But I always am conscious if I say or
Yeah.
like. I try
Yeah,
really
like
hard
is
to get
My
Oh.
big
do that.
offender.
So here's a funny story of my husband being an asshole.
Now
We were-
I wonder why Cora thought he was an asshole.
We were in line one time at Starbucks, and Ryan just was counting. And he'd like 39, 40, 40. I'm like, what are you doing, honey? And he was like, the girl behind me will not stop saying, I'm counting it.
Okay. We should preface this by saying that this chick behind me was really fucking annoying, and
Well, yeah, she kept saying
she wasn't saying honey, she was saying like.
Oh, her.
Oh.
So she was.
that
she
is
was,
worse.
So that changes the fact that you're being a judgmental.
No, I don't care if you think I'm a jerk. It's annoying to me that you say, well, like, I was going to, like, the bar, and, like, my friend was totally, like, literally, we were in line, I don't know how long, 2 minutes? 77 times she said, like.
Oh my god.
And that's only when I started
Oh.
counting. I don't know how many times before, but that's when I started noticing. And I'm the jerk.
Yeah.
Maybe she should get an
She
education.
wasn't
Yeah,
talking to you.
you're not a jerk. You didn't turn around and light her hair on fire.
I know.
You're
I
a saint.
I didn't turn around and say, like, use a new word, bitch.
Whoa.
That would be a jerk.
And then a mic drop, even though you didn't have
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
I had since you called out the whole I'm an English major thing, I had a linguistics professor who
Big word.
in his in his sermons, what do you call them? I don't know a lot about words.
He's going to preach you.
That's how he feels about getting lessons from people.
When he
their,
was
their
in
sermons.
his
only
lessons.
for only
God.
for linguistics.
So in his lessons, he'd be up there talking and he'd be trying to teach us stuff, but he would say, every couple of words. And I'm not exaggerating.
That's the thing that drives me nuts about athletes. They say that all the time.
Yeah. Well, but here's the thing. He said it so much, and he spoke very slow, and in a way that made it sound like he was being very pointed, like he was choosing his words very carefully, except he clearly wasn't, because he was saying, every 2 or 3 words. It was so bad that by the end of the sentence, I couldn't remember where the sentence began, so I didn't know what he was saying. I was failing the class, and I dropped out before I was going to actually get an F. It's the only class I got to withdraw from, because I withdrew after the first test, because I was like, I can't pass this class. I can't learn from this guy. Like, it's the worst.
And now we're going to get emails about people saying how we don't know how to talk and
Yeah.
we're the worst
Yeah.
of all time. But hey, you can do that very easily. realnerds@gmail.com. Leave a comment on our website.
Dude, yeah.
Tweet us. Call us.
I forgot there were actually some comments on the website this week. If anybody out there wants to know how to get really cheap Ambien, we have all kinds of ways. I don't know why anybody wants cheap Ambien, but
Don't
man,
take Ambien.
the entire internet.
You
is
can also
just-
get Nike shoes.
yeah.
Yeah, we also
And,
got, they really like our web blog page.
Yes, maintain on it.
Maintain on it. I've seen a lot of opinions, and yours is the best one of the webs.
Yes.
It's great. I just delete those emails right away.
But here's the thing: it's getting really bad. I woke up this morning.
We have a lot of fans who don't speak English very well. That's good to know.
Yeah. I woke up this morning, there were 109 spam comments on the site. I'm probably going to pay for that spam blocker. My favorite one, though, was one this week that's all it said, beginning to end. There were no crazy links. All it said was, I'm going to watch out for Brussels.
Nice. Dude, Brussels is...
Yeah.
The muscles from
Dangerous.
Brussels. Jean-Claude Van Damme. Is he coming for us?
That'd be sweet. And he'd be saying stuff, I am not Van Damme, I am Villon. And I'd be like, oh, dude, you are so awesome in Expendables 2. Here, I'm holding a knife. Just kick it, dude. Just kick it.
He was way cooler, though, in No Retreat, No Surrender.
I don't know about that. I mean, I haven't watched it illegally on YouTube yet, so I guess I can't say that. What a great segue into stuff we've been watching.
So, this is the stuff we've been watching.
Oh, my gosh, you guys.
That was
Guess
a-
what?
It was a good week.
I watched some Robert Downey Jr. movies this week.
There's
How
more?
Friday.
No, I watched 3 of them to round out my list of 46, and I'll just touch base on them really quick.
Yeah.
Weird Science is an 80s movie directed by and written by John Hughes.
Yeah, where that lady comes out and she's not wearing a lot of clothes.
Yeah.
She
You,
stands
you
in the
already
door.
did that one.
And
Is that the Val Kilmer movie?
no, it's
No,
with
it's those
Anthony
kids.
Michael Hall, which
Yeah.
makes another appearance in a movie I watched. But watching it again,
Breakfast Club?
I realized that it's kind of like Cat in the Hat, where these
Oh.
guys want to make something, and then except Cat in the Hat isn't in this one, is really hot Kelly LeBrock. She
Yeah.
comes in and
Like a cutoff shirt.
and then they have a party and they trash the house and they paint it blue and they turn Bill Paxton into that monster thing, and they all learn their lesson and all the stuff goes away and the house is rearranged and they come back and it's okay. Robert Downey Jr. plays the bully in it, if you don't remember him.
They should have turned Robert Downey Jr. into Monster Thing 2 then.
Hey. Speaking of Anthony Michael Hall and Robert Downey Jr., he's also
Okay.
in a movie called Johnny Be Good. Now, I
Oh,
don't know
yeah.
if you've seen this one, but it's an 80s football movie, which is not that good because it's really cheesy, but there's some funny parts in it. At the beginning is actually really funny. I forget the actor's name who plays the principal in The Breakfast Club.
Michael J. Fox.
No, not Michael J. Fox. He's not in The Breakfast Club, you idiot. It's the
He's in
old
Johnny Be
guy
Good,
where
though.
he says, he's the hard ass in it, but he plays the coach and he's really funny. And this is how you really have to stretch your credibility in this movie is Anthony Michael Hall is the studliest quarterback in the nation. And he's so good, and Robert Downey Jr. is his best friend, and he's a backup quarterback, and he's a bumbling buffoon, guys.
Yeah, he is.
And the movie's whatever. The best part is when he goes to L.A. to be recruited, and there's all these improper benefits going on. So it's like a morality tale. Do you go to the state college where the black coach is promising a good education, or do you go to the glitz and glamour of L.A. where you come back in parachute pants and purple sequin sparkly things?
Parachute pants?
Yeah.
Oh,
exactly. You know what?
Always go with parachute pants.
But he made the right choice.
He went with
He
parachute
went to
pants.
no. He went to state college.
Oh, come
He
on.
cared about his
I
education.
like this movie.
Notable for Uma Thurman's first appearance in a movie.
Now, where does that movie take place inside of the Back to the Future canon?
It is before.
It's before 2 and after 1?
Yes.
Oh, it's before. Oh, okay. All right, yeah. Johnny Be Good, everybody.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
And they have there's a really not good cover of Johnny Be Good. I forget who it's by. It's actually by a popular band. 'Cause I was watching the
Michael J.
credits.
Scott.
It's done by
Michael J. Fox.
It's done by a fading Marty McFly, so that's not so good.
Yeah.
No, that version I don't mind. And the last one I saw is a movie I saw a while ago, and I didn't like it then, and I'm not a big fan of it now, is Natural Born Killers.
Oh, yeah. That's not great.
I will say that the performance by Rodney Dangerfield, Woody Harrelson, and Robert Downey Jr. is really good. But too bad the whole movie, I didn't really pick up until halfway through. It's always shot crooked. And then every time they would move...
Dutch angles.
Yeah, another way, it'd go crooked again. And it was really obnoxious.
Because Dutch angles communicate the way that the character is looking at the world in a way that's askew.
But if that
Exactly.
if that movie was made by a less stupid director, I think it'd be a good movie.
Right.
I mean, the performances are really good.
I was
Jones
just quoting to you like filming 101.
Yeah, that's exactly what you hear in a film class.
Yeah.
yeah.
Not as douchey, though.
No.
But Rodney Dangerfield's
know.
really good as a creepy father who sexually abuses her, Juliette Lewis's character. Also, Tommy Lee Jones is really good as the prison warden, and Robert Downey Jr. is an Australian TV reporter. So second time he's played first time he played an Australian, second time was in Tropic Thunder.
You say you don't like it, but it was pretty high up on your overall list of Robert Downey Jr.
I think
movies.
it's like
He's
30
watched some pretty
I
bad.
think it's 38. That's not that high.
Yeah.
And he's watched some pretty bad ones.
I have. Have you seen Shortcuts? You have not.
You like that one.
I mean, not Shortcuts.
It's like-
Love and Distrust.
I have seen it, for one.
Yeah, Shortcuts is good.
Yeah.
Now here's different things. I watched Hitchcock this week.
Oh, thank you. And you hated it, right?
I did not hate it. There was parts of it I really loved, and there was
Good.
parts of it that I thought were stupid. I didn't
Really?
like that he had communications with Ed Gein. Like he was telling how he felt with him. 'Cause I don't know. That part just seemed a little hokey. But
Sorry, say again. Oh.
he would have therapy sessions with Ed Gein.
Oh, right. Oh, that's why. Yeah, right.
And
Yeah.
I think sometimes, too, Anthony Hopkins tried too hard to be like Hitchcock. The part where he was introducing the movie and then the tag at the end.
Oh, you didn't like that?
But I really liked when
Aw.
the movie got going and he was on set.
Yeah.
And Scarlett Johansson's really good in it as Janet Leigh. But the real star of it is Helen Mirren.
Thank you.
Because there's that scene where he's accusing her of cheating on him. And she says, I've been with you through thick and thin. My house is online, so don't you tell me. It was great. There's parts of that movie that are fantastic.
I think just like the scene where she goes to buy the swimsuit, and the way that they communicate what they're telling you through that, and she never says anything. Just the way she performs that, I think is amazing.
Yeah, she's
One
a
of my
really good
favorite
actress.
moments in the movie.
But yeah, I mean, it was a good movie.
Yeah.
Just not one of my favorites.
Yeah.
But
Well,
have
good.
Have either of you seen it?
No, I haven't. No.
Yeah.
No.
Is
You
it the
ought to
Dating
see it.
Guru movie?
No.
Well, that's also called Hitchcock with.
It's Hitch, I think, is the one you're thinking
Oh,
of.
yeah.
with Will Smith.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's Hitch.
But who's the guy? The guy who played Norman Bates was really good. I mean, Anthony Perkins is really good.
Yes. Yep. I
don't remember his name. And even Jessica Biel in her really limited role
Yeah.
was cool. I did like.
I mean, and I don't usually like her that much, but I thought she was fine.
Yeah. So I mean, if you want to, it's a pretty good picture. I mean, it's not anything.
I think it's easy to recommend to people.
So the Helen Mirren scene I really liked, but I will say that my favorite scene with Anthony Hopkins is when the audience was reacting to Psycho and he was like directing them like an orchestra.
Oh, yeah.
Was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Um,
Did you see what I was saying about like? And obviously, I told you this beforehand, so yeah, it spoils it a little. But that whole thing where, like, as the movie goes on, the Hitchcockian intrigue works its way into the movie.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah,
that
yeah.
whole thing about
I think that
we've talked about it so much now that we spoiled it for anybody who hasn't seen the movie.
yeah.
But
I mean, it is. It starts off like his TV show,
Right.
where he's introducing the movie.
Yeah.
And then it ends with him tagging the movie with what his next project's going to be, and
Yeah.
it's obviously The Birds,
Yeah.
in case you were wondering. So yeah,
I thought that was fun. It's not important to the movie. I thought it was just sort of them, doing it because at some point Danny Elfman wanted to do the Hitchcock Presents music.
I found out Danny Elfman did this the score to Back to School. I didn't
Oh,
know
really?
that. Yeah, I
Oh,
didn't know that's
man.
Danny Elfman score, but I do now.
Yeah.
My next movie I saw, I'm shocked that I loved. totally shocked that I love this movie.
I'm so excited.
I was at Blockbuster and I picked up Hitchcock, and when you're at a movie place, you're always going to peruse the rest of the movies. And I picked up Pitch Perfect, and
What?
and I'm telling you,
Wait.
no,
The movie that he refused to go with me to see, so I still haven't seen it.
What about the box changed things for you?
no. The box did not change things for me. I've been reading articles about it online about how great the movie is and how much fun it is. And I went with our mantra, we go into every movie expecting it to be good. And if people are telling me that this movie is good, I'm going to see this movie. So I put it in, and I was watching it. And here's the thing with this movie, though. They know that it's stupid. The movie recognizes that the concept and the story behind the movie is stupid.
Okay.
They have
Anna Kendrick?
Anna Kendrick's great in it, but Elizabeth Banks and gosh darn it, I can't remember the other guy. He's in a lot of Christopher Guest movies. He's the
Eugene
gay
Levy?
guy in The Breakup, Jennifer Aniston's brother. Gosh darn it, I can't remember his name. But they're commentators for these a cappella competitions. And he says lines like, an all-female a cappella, man, that's a horrible idea, like a female doctor. And it doesn't make any sense to the movie. And Anna Kendrick plays the damaged girl to such a degree that it's almost on self-parody.
Oh, no.
Because she has this scene where she has to go to jail, and her not her real boyfriend, but the guy who likes her bells her out, and he called her dad, and she says, I can't believe you called my dad. And it's so over the top that these people are like in on the joke in the movie. It's really funny. I'm telling you guys. And I was like, you're watching like acapella, how good this be, and I'm like, this music's pretty good in this movie.
Oh, no.
He ran out and bought the soundtrack immediately.
I was going to today. Actually, I really was.
Holy shit.
The bad boys of acapella are called the Treble Makers, and the douchey lead.
Yeah, they are.
It's like Here Comes Trouble for Andy from The Office.
Their douchey lead guy is really funny. He leaves him halfway through the movie because he got picked to be backing vocals on John Mayer's new CD. And as he's leaving, he says, "Oh man, should I get aviators or a cut-off leather jacket?" I mean, it doesn't make any sense in the movie, and you have to see it. It's really funny. I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
I hate you so much right now because I'm gonna go rent that movie this week or next, and I'm probably gonna like it now, and I'm gonna eat so much crow.
You know why you're gonna like it? There's a part where Anna Kendrick, who doesn't want to be, she doesn't want to be in school. She wants to go to L.A. to be a music person. But her dad, who's a professor there, says, well, if you try to be in a club and you don't like it after a year and give it a real try, then I'll pay for you to go to L.A. So her audition is she does cups, and she comes out with a cup and starts messing around with it. It's
well,
awesome.
Anna Kendrick actually knows how to do that.
Yeah, no, Anna Kendrick is amazing in that movie.
That wasn't in the script, and then I know a lot about Pitch Perfect.
And
that wasn't in the script, and she just knows
there's
how
a
to do
whole part about how she hates movies because they're boring, and the guy she's like and says, you should really watch ends of movies because that's the part that sells you on movies. It makes you happy, and I won't spoil it, but it's great. It's
Damn
great,
it.
and I'm probably gonna buy that movie. I'm dead serious.
Man,
I'm pretty excited about that since you always I like the whole summer when it came out. I was like, honey, let's go see Pitch
Well, no,
Perfect.
I did.
Like,
Yeah.
I was like, no.
yeah, he would always just say no.
Absolutely.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm gonna lie. I saw the poster. I saw the previews.
It
this
looked
movie
awful.
looks horrible, but
Yeah,
they sold the movie how they had to sell it. They had to
sold
sell
it. They sold it as a Glee movie.
a Glee movie.
Yeah.
But it's you have to see it. They know it's stupid. The people in it know it's stupid. There's a part where they have to confess stuff, and one girl start crying. She says, "I have nodes," and they treat it like she has a really bad disease, and it's really funny.
Oh,
you have to
man.
see it. And there's
So I think what you're
jokes.
saying is a few years ago when I swore I would see every Anna Kendrick movie, I should have just stuck to my
You should have.
guns. Ah, shit.
And Rebel Wilson's really funny in it.
Man,
I'm just saying.
Brad, now I have to watch Pitch Perfect.
It's not my problem.
What
and
just
you'll get
happened?
pitch slapped.
Oh, you're the worst. You're the worst.
I think that's what the poster says.
It is,
Yeah.
and it's used in the movie too.
Oh no.
Oh no.
So yeah, I recommend everybody see Pitch Perfect.
There's at least one more thing, right?
Would it be in my top 20 if I saw it last year? Probably.
No.
Yep.
I'm gonna hit you across the face with this mic.
And the last thing I saw this week
yeah.
is actually I watched it last night. Was Bates Motel, which is A&E's new prequel to Psycho.
Well, it's inspired by.
It's a prequel, pretty much.
Well,
you can watch
it's
Psycho 4 and see the real one.
But it's set in the middle in the modern day.
It is.
So
it's a retelling, and I really like the show. I thought it was really well done. It was shocking at points, and there is a murder in the first episode.
I'd hope so.
But not by Norman Bates. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah, it's I saw it. Red, you didn't see it, did you?
No.
Did anybody else watch Bates Motel? I really liked it.
Did you? Good.
Yeah.
So we'll just segue into what James has been watching too.
Yeah. What's his name now? Freddie Highmore, who plays
awesome.
Norman Bates, is fantastic. I mean, he gets it just as well as the guy in Hitchcock does. Like, he just gets that character.
You know what I will say too about this movie? It does a great job setting up the psychological damage that Norman is dealt by his mother.
Yeah.
Where his mother is really overprotective, and then when his one teacher touches him, he gets all excited about contact from a woman, and it goes right into the pervertiveness of Norman Bates
because his mom's really hot, and you're just like, yeah, Vera Farmiga. I see it. Like, yeah. No, it's really cool, and I think there are some things that threw me off about it. Things where I was like, it's a little on the nose here and there, and I think it's a mistake that it's not a period piece. I think it should be set like in the 50s. I think that would be far more interesting. Because like as soon as like Norman Bates takes out a cell phone and starts texting, I'm like, what is happening?
But there's a cool, what I loved about that too, though, is his mother was jealous of the girls that like Norman.
Yeah.
And there's that great scene where they're on the boat together and they're talking. I mean, the leads have amazing chemistry. And where it's that gross kind of mother. It's It's definitely deals with it.
But at the same time, like I don't know. They do a really good job of that because especially there is a very traumatic thing that happens in the episode. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Okay. And the scene between the two of them right after that, and the way they talk to each other, and the way they sort of react. Like the way I mean, she very straightforward says like, "Hey, this just happened."
Yeah.
And the way that he just sort of takes it in and rolls along with everything is so bizarre but handled in such a way that you really feel like you are slightly disturbed by what's happening.
I'm excited to see the next episode because
and that cliffhanger at the end, I have no idea what's going on.
Oh yeah, no idea.
No idea what's going on.
Threw in a little Lost in that one.
Yeah.
Two, it's not a spoiler, the opening that their father dies at the beginning, but the way it's played did Norma, who's Norman's mother, kill his father? I think that's what it plays as.
Right.
Because she's not shocked that he's dead. She only reacts to how Norman reacts to him being dead.
But we could also say, like, well, maybe she just knows that Norman did it and Norman forgot that he did it.
Exactly.
Like, they really don't, and that's like the opening scene of the show.
Yeah.
They do horror way better. Like, I liked the second season of American Horror Story, but they do horror way better and way more subtly than that show does.
Well,
like,
too,
because
there's different versions of horror too. I mean,
like this is really them like showing you something disturbing and like
and something
telling
that
you
happens
this
to
horrific
Norma
story.
is horrible.
Yeah. And the traumatic thing that happens in this episode is
when she starts
like,
screaming
I felt
for
awkward.
Norman.
Man,
I wanted to save her.
Yeah.
So check out Bates Motel. It's good.
Yeah, man, that is a good.
Can't wait for the next episode.
All right, so I also watched The Hobbit came out this week. I picked up the Blu-ray of that because, like, I haven't heard anything about. Have you guys heard anything about there being an extended edition or a collector's edition or anything? Well, I will say right now. Okay, first off, movie looks great. I still really like it. I feel like every time I watch that movie, I like it more, and I forgive the weird little like the plot things about it, and I feel like okay, once we have a trilogy. I think some of it will just flow better. But all of that aside, I hope they do a director's or like an extended cut or a collector's edition because this Blu-ray is not very good. All of the special features on this Blu-ray are things I'd already seen because it's just the video blogs that they did during production.
They did that on King Kong, the original when they released King Kong 2005. They just put the video diaries on it. It's
horrible. As somebody who like when the Lord of the Rings movies came out, and I spent a week watching all of the appendices and just combing through that stuff. And it's clear from the video blogs that they are filming everything as they're doing stuff. So there's content out there, and maybe they're going to do like a Matrix Revisited where they're just going to produce a different movie or like. I don't know what, but they had better put out more stuff for this because I want to see the making of all this stuff.
So does that make you upset that you bought that one and you realize you're gonna have to buy another one?
No,
or is
because I did that with the original trilogy too.
I mean, I mean, there's certain movies that I just do it for anyways, and I expect it. So I just
Yeah.
I just want.
What if they're
It's more that I haven't heard anything about it, and that's what pisses me off.
what if their idea of the extended edition for The Hobbit is just taking all 3 Hobbit movies and selling them as one
At the end,
The Hobbit.
and here's the thing:
One
I'd be fine
6-hour
with it.
movie
Yeah, like if they said
set.
like, okay, we're gonna do a big box set at the end that'll come with appendices that's just about the making of this as one movie. I'd be fine with that. I just want them to say it. I mean, that sounds weird, but it's true. Like, I want them to say like, hey, this is what we're thinking, because I think there's
Makes
probably
more money
not,
if they string you along.
Yeah.
Say that because they
Yeah.
double dip.
right. But right now, I've got like this kind of like lane, like it's just the movie, which is good, but not as much as I would have liked, because especially those appendices are really cool, and seeing like the really detailed stuff like the concept art and stuff like that, and the making of that art is really neat. So it's a shame. Anyway,
It sounds like you're just a sucker.
ah
Yep.
yeah, I guess.
Yep.
And
I
the
bought
other
in like 4 versions of Army of Darkness, whatever.
yeah. I sort of knew, like I was taking the Blu-ray home and I was like, oh yeah, I'm probably gonna buy this again someday. Like I didn't even think about it. I just know that's what I'm gonna do.
I really want to watch The Dark Knight Returns, but I just know that they're going to combine those 2 discs as a one set at some point.
Oh
It's
yeah,
going to happen.
I can just lend them to you if you want to watch them.
All right.
They're all literally upstairs.
Problem solved.
You've been trying to work that into the show for weeks, haven't you? Like,
James,
I
please
gotta
give me
get-
your movies.
I gotta get James to just offer this.
Yeah, I can't ask him.
And the other thing was on sale this week. This is not why I won't tell the story that way. So I still have a Netflix disc service.
What?
Welcome to 2005, y'all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I've had the movies that I have. Well, I'm only paying for one at a time, but a couple Christmases ago, they gave me a gift of like, hey, we'll send you the next movie for free, like, and then you'll have 2 right now.
They're like, please end this so we can just drop the service entirely.
Right,
This one
right.
guy's keeping it
Do you
open,
still have
costing
your-
us
Do you
money.
still carry a pager and stuff?
And so I got that free disc, and then they've sat around for a very long time, and the shame is like there are big fans that are gonna like big movie buffs that are gonna turn the podcast off right now. One of them was Brazil, which I've never seen. And so I was
Have
like,
the
I was
Blu-ray.
finally like, I'm gonna check this out, and I watched Brazil. 3 hours long. If you don't know anything about Brazil, it is, for some people, it's like Terry Gilliam's magnum opus, sort of. And it's basically it's a dystopian future, where like I don't want to say it's very much like Gattaca, but like where everybody is in business suits and everything is very
very
bureaucratic and stuff
1984.
like that. Yes, exactly. And then like things start
made in
going
85.
weird and falling apart.
Talking about the book, thank you.
So this was a movie that like sometimes, because it's 3 hours long, so my opinion of it changed as the movie went along. And sometimes I was sitting there and I was like, this is dumb. And sometimes I was sitting there laughing really hard and like, this is now I get it. And then that would go away again. It feels very much like if the best Monty Python sketch were slammed up against like a mediocre David Lynch film, which is most of the weird David Lynch films. Because there's a lot of stuff that happens it's weird and you don't even know why it's weird. Basically, there's this character who there's these terrorist bombings going on, as there always are in dystopian futures, and he keeps having these dreams where like he's an angel and he's saving people from like the samurai, and then the dream starts working its way into the real world, and you don't even really understand what it means. But at the same time, the imagery of the movie and the set design and all of that stuff is amazing, to the same extent that like 12 Monkeys is. Like watching all of the
Same
stuff.
director.
Yeah, exactly. All of the stuff in the beginning of 12 Monkeys, where they're in the future and how weird that future looks. That same aesthetic is in this movie, and it's still really cool. But here it's even blown to more extremes. It's really crazy to watch.
Mhm.
And so it's hard. When it was, I will say this: when it was over, I did wish that I had bought that Criterion edition that was on sale this week because I would like to watch it again and a few more times in my life.
I'll trade you my Brazil Criterion for your Batman Dark Knight animated.
Just to borrow it, not.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, yeah, you're not keeping my.
I was gonna say, like, I wish I owned it so that over the next 30 years of my life I could watch it 3 times, because I feel like it's something that I'm going to appreciate more the more I watch it.
I appreciate it, but I often fall asleep during that third act.
Yeah. Well,
I never
the third
got
act
into
really
it.
gets
Because he's just running for most of the time, like escaping, and
and he's no Tom Cruise running,
and it starts turning into a lot of like fever dream issues. He's actually not. He's not that tall.
James, don't ruin it.
Height has nothing to do with how great of an actor you are.
Yeah, it's Jonathan Pryce, who you will better know as the villain from Tomorrow Never Dies.
And the movie we're seeing next week.
One of my favorite Tomorrow Never Dies, or one of my favorite Bond villains.
Speaking of Bond villains, one was in the movie we saw.
That's right.
So.
That's
Oh
right.
my God.
Oh gosh.
That's where I saw him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I've seen that guy
Speaking of
before.
Fast and the Furious, one was in the movie we saw. Anyway. Yeah, so I don't know. It's one of those where, like, if you were at that point where you feel like you need to educate yourself more on Terry Gilliam, yeah, you should check this movie out. But know that you're getting into something weird. The desk skit, the desk thing where he shares a desk with the guy who works in the cubicle next to him, and it's literally one desk, is great.
Yeah.
Like that whole sequence, if you haven't seen it, I will spoil it for you here. The desk goes through the wall. So if the other guy needs a little bit more desk space, he pulls the desk through. And so they wrestle back and forth over desk space. And there's little things like that in the movie that are just brilliant.
The song in the movie is the one that's like in Wall-E. Like Wall-E took cues from Brazil.
Oh yeah.
Oh
wow.
That little like busy working song that they have is in Wall-E.
Oh, funny. Yeah, and then there's a lot of funny little skits in that movie, but I feel like as a whole, it sort of falls under the weight of its own weirdness. But still interesting. Definitely not my favorite Terry Gilliam movie. But that's everything I saw this week.
Right on.
Dan.
Hi.
Hey.
Hey, Dan.
I watched.
What'd you watch this week?
Oh my goodness. Well, I watched Drive.
Oh,
Nice.
Cool.
And I just had missed it, and I
Yeah.
mean I don't know what happened, but I just missed it, and I went into it not even really knowing anything about it, just that it's about driving, just that it's about drive.
Someone will
The
be
character
in a car.
goes on a drive.
And it is so. I feel so lucky when I'm able to go into a movie like that, and then I come out of it really loving the movie because it was really, really good.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm sure everyone had this discussion 2 years ago or whenever it came out, but it was really, really good. I really okay. So like 5 seconds into the movie, he's on the phone and he's saying, you'll have 5 minutes after that, you're on your own, and blah blah blah. But then they do the whole getaway sequence at the very beginning of the movie, and for the whole thing, Ryan Gosling doesn't say a word, and that tells me. Like, that told me a lot about that character right at the beginning. And it's not that he was calm the whole time, because he was very clearly improvising and looking worried.
Yeah.
But it was like, he's doing his thing.
Yeah.
He's been, this ain't his first rodeo. And I just thought that was very, very smart.
It's one of the most fascinating and mysterious characters that I think we've seen in the last few years.
And I wanted to know a lot more about that character.
Yeah.
But they didn't have to tell me it.
Yeah.
And like there was no point
He
where
still never has a name.
They call him the driver over and over.
Yeah.
Or your driver or whatever. But like they didn't set it up to a point where the character was doing these really weird things or just acting weird all the time. You just picked up that he was maybe a little reserved and a little isolated, and that's like I wanted to know a lot more, but I didn't have to for what was happening in the movie. So it was totally fine. Also, really good soundtrack.
Yeah.
And I like what I'm going to do tomorrow is go look up everything that was in it and listen to it.
He's a real human being.
That was the song. Yeah.
Yeah, real human being was in there. Like,
I was trying to sing it earlier and I couldn't remember. I just kept going, heroes, a
real human being.
I believe the artist is Glass Candy. So if you...
I know he made those jackets look cool. I don't think I could pull off a
That's a really expensive jacket. Though.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a big collector's item if you can.
Especially
get your hands on
dragon
one.
on
Especially
it.
now.
Maybe I'll just
No,
get a
it's
jacket
a
that's
scorpion.
dragon.
It's a scorpion.
Oh, it is scorpion.
Yeah, which was weird because at one point somebody makes a reference to a dragon or some animal, but then that's not what he has on the jacket.
Oh, yeah.
It
I don't
just seemed a
remember
little weird to me. Also, the whole chase right in the middle of the movie when they get away from the pawn shop. There's no and I think it's really smart when movies do this. There's no music in the background. There's no.
Yeah.
It's just the sounds of the cars and the tires and the horns and everything.
Yeah.
And that's really great. And that is also why I love the car chase in The Dark Knight. By the way, there's no music in it.
You know what? Then you'll love the car chase in Jack Reacher.
Oh, that's true. Yes,
oh,
the car chase in Jack Reacher is pretty good.
Yeah, maybe I do need to see that.
Yo, you should see Jack Reacher.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I just missed that one too. So Drive was
Which
good.
I also thought of today because this tonight's movie was also one where things were happening and people were dying, and I was like, oh man, this might be disturbing. Because remember, Jack? Because I was trying to remember, like, what was that movie from last year where like we had to warn people, like, you know, because it was right after Sandy Hook had happened, and we had to warn people, like, you shouldn't see this movie if you are in any way like on edge or like. You know, if you can't just go into this and try to be entertained and remove from reality, like that movie is,
Yeah.
man.
I know I brought this up when I was on the show before, but I watched since then I've watched all of It's Always Sunny that's on Netflix, which is maybe 6 or 7 seasons, but you know they're like 20 minutes long an episode, so I can just power through that in like a season a week.
And they're
basically.
so entertaining that
like all I'm going to say is if you haven't seen that show and you have a Netflix thing, go watch it because I was in tears many times. It's fantastic.
So there's so many good one-liners and like moments that like
Yeah.
days later, like, oh, I remember that. That was funny.
Yeah, milk steak.
All you had to say, milk steak. That's all.
There's so many that like I try to remember, but new and greater ones overwrite those. So
Yeah.
because you constantly rediscover them.
Yeah.
Well, they'll mention one and then they'll bring it back like 3 seasons later once, and then 2 seasons later one more time, and it's just they don't make the joke way too many times. And then I've also James and I talked about this, but I watched Battleship. And I hated Battleship. What a piece of shit.
You guys lied to him.
It's literally battle shit for Dan over here.
It was way too bad.
No, tell him, Dan, just tell me, who was your favorite character in Battleship?
Yeah, so my favorite character in Battleship was Rihanna, and that's a sentence. That's a sentence that a human being just formed and said to you.
And you're being
can believe it or
you're
not.
being serious.
I'm being completely serious.
Yeah.
Aw, man.
I hated every character but Rihanna, and I loved that character, and I hated every other part of the movie.
He was really good in that
Yeah,
movie.
I think Taylor Kitsch is really good in that movie.
You know what, when I find it for
really good. I think he is serviceable.
When I find it
in a
for
movie
like
that is
$10,
serviceable,
I'm going to get it and see if I psych
if it
myself
holds
up for
up.
it.
Yeah.
You get movies out of spite.
Yeah. I like this movie because you suck. Like, yeah, no.
I also wanted to see it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, no.
And then
yeah, no one. The fact that you rented it means that no one can blame you and say like, well, you didn't want that movie to be good, which is always our thing.
Yeah.
You gave it a shot, you
sought
know,
it out.
and I can see why it's not for everybody for sure.
No, absolutely. Like, you know, it was surprising to us because we saw the trailers and we're like, that can't be good. Well, no, that's not true. I really was excited about Battleship.
Yeah, because you get excited for stuff.
I get excited for things that
Asylum.
aren't. No, I get excited for things that aren't very good.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that. Did you watch anything else recently?
At one point I watched Born 4.
Oh yeah.
Which was okay,
End
but
of that
then,
movie's
but
not
then
great.
the motorcycle part was really well done at the end.
The thing that sucks is that you finally start get going in that movie, and then it just abruptly ends.
I really wanted a lot more Joan Allen. They had one shot of Joan Allen.
Dan has a thing for Joan Allen.
Yeah,
that's all right.
As well, he should.
Yeah, his box set of the Bourne trilogy just has the Joan Allen trilogy.
Is she even in the first one?
I don't know. I haven't seen the first
no,
one.
she's in the second and third.
Yeah, 2 and 3. Yeah.
So it's the box set, but there's only like 2 slid in there.
The first one's just broken.
The 2 illogy.
Well, I just
a blank spot.
Away.
Yeah.
This movie's a betrayal to the rest of the trilogy. Yeah,
that's all I got.
Cool.
Those films and TV shows.
Very nice. Brad?
I'm going to let Laura go before me, and she's going to take my mic so that, you know, she's going to be talking
Did
for a
Laura
while.
actually
So
watch something this week?
I did watch something this week.
Oh my
what?
goodness.
So I want to be a midwife, and my friends told me that there's a BBC America show called Call a Midwife, and it is fantastic.
Is it?
If you like really boring British dramas.
Oh,
It's
it was
so
a drama.
good,
Oh,
yeah.
I thought it was like a reality show.
No, it's set in after World War II, so it's right when modern medicine was just taking off, and
Right.
like it's fabulous. Like, you guys probably do not give two shits about it because it's about babies and vaginas and shit. But
I care.
I hate both of those things.
no, I was pleasantly surprised because generally I don't like British dramas, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I cannot get enough of it. And I watched The Biggest Loser finale, which Twitter spoiled for me.
Which you
so-
deleted, so I didn't get to see who won.
Danny.
Did she?
Yeah.
How much weight did she end up
Did
losing?
she used to be fat?
It was like 138 pounds.
Wow.
I watched The Biggest Loser this season.
Yeah, I did.
Did you?
Yeah, I totally did.
I did
and she was
because-
my favorite. She was absolutely my favorite.
She was
She was
a
awesome.
rock star.
Yeah.
Well, my favorite was Noah. Well, Bingo.
Bingo.
Oh yeah, bingo.
He was a stud. How'd he look on the finale?
How did,
Good.
Yeah,
He looks
They
also-
alright.
had him in like this little vest with like his like skinny jeans and sneakers. He was adorable.
how did they lose weight? Hydroxycut?
Yeah, that's exactly it.
No, it's a it's
No.
it's- no, James. As I push my glasses up, it's a weight loss competition.
No, the only thing that bugged me about The Biggest Loser is, one, I didn't like the fat people crying all the time. They always had-
Whatever, you wouldn't ever.
You don't know what it's like
Ryan-
to be fat, Brian.
Ryan only started watching it because he liked fat people falling off of treadmills.
I know exactly.
This
That's
being
funny.
said by the guy who like really loves it when a blind girl cries into her pie. Like, yeah, come on.
Cries into her pie.
Yeah,
The
that
Hell's
one
Kitchen,
blind girl
honey.
who made the pie. She was like,
Oh, that. Yeah,
Yeah.
and her.
It's okay. It's
No,
Master
not Hell's
Chef.
Kitchen.
It's okay if
Master,
people
yeah.
cry on television.
No, but like they'd always say, I realize that I'm swimming towards the pie. Patton Oswalt.
Patton Oswalt.
Yeah.
But no, I really like this kid Bingo in it because he wanted. He was a heavier kid, but he wanted to lose weight so he could play baseball, and I think that's cute. And you know, he tried really hard, and he broke his foot like halfway through the season,
Aw.
so he was really down. But then when they did his, they don't weigh the kids, thank God. But
yeah,
but they found, he lost a
You're
quarter of his.
135
no, they
shame
they
pounds.
announced it at the end how much the kids lost.
oh,
Yeah.
did they?
Oh, did they?
Did they say just as a percentage?
Well, no, because they said like Bingo lost 40 pounds, but he also grew 2 inches. Like
Oh, yeah. So he was cheating the whole time.
he was
No,
absolutely cheating.
when he at the end they said he lost a quarter of his
Yeah.
body weight.
Oh, wow. See, they could do like BMI. Like, they
yeah,
could just
they
talk
did
about
his
their-
BMI.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And they did like the presidential fitness test for the kids.
They could do
and,
it like in a.
show their improvements.
They could do it in like a kid-friendly graphic where at the top it's like gross, and then at the bottom it's like healthy, and then like it goes up and down, and like there's like a little face of like some animated character next to it that's like happy when you're healthy and really looks disgusted when you're gross.
It's
all
just
green
vomiting
and
when-
bubbly and shit.
Yeah, yeah.
I've never seen the show. How do they crown the biggest loser? Like,
The-
are they like
the person who loses the biggest percentage of body weight from when the season started.
They give them
And-
a very.
no,
they,
but I mean, how do they celebrate it? Like,
They give them-
congratulations, you are the biggest loser.
There's confetti cannons.
Congratulations, loser.
It's-
And they win the biggest loser wins $250,000, and there's a home prize for the people who got sent home.
Who won the home prize?
And they
Joe?
no, the lawyer chick. What was her name?
Uh,
The lawyer, short blonde hair.
Oh, I hated her.
Oh my gosh, I can't stand her either.
Yeah,
she
she
was
won.
the worst.
so they
But
also
yeah, the lawyer won the $100,000
Oh,
prize.
that's good
so.
for her.
they also give them a very small belt made entirely of gold.
Nice.
The thing about The Biggest Loser that really bugs me, but I also had
Is when they sell Progresso soup.
guys, I want you to come over here.
Yeah, they always have these breaks.
It's only 85 calories, and it just tastes
yeah,
so good.
Exactly. And
We
they,
also-
they,
We also broke up your hydroxycut in it.
they'll have I don't know, Dolvet, who's one of the one of the trainers. He says, "Hey, what are you guys making for dinner? It smells really good in here." "Oh, we're eating Progresso soup. It only has 110 calories per serving." And then the camera like zooms in on the Progresso soup.
It's
And then
hysterical every time.
they had Jared from Subway there says, "Wow, I didn't know Subway had all these great options for my family under 6 grams of fat." Oh my god.
He was
Yes,
at the
you did,
finale
Jared.
too.
Does he?
Yeah.
They pay you to know those things.
Oh no, he wouldn't say. He brought them sandwiches, and then they'd have.
they said that.
They said it.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying Jared shows up and went, I don't do my job very well.
Oh,
I don't know
sorry.
anything about Subway.
And then they had the stupid when they went home for a week, and they kept on getting sent wrong food and restaurants.
Right.
And then they had their friends saying, "Oh man, I can't wait to have these burgers and wings." And then they'd show the fat people with temptation in their eyes. And,
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
Like
I
their
think a
eyes
better
were-
finale would be watching them like wheel out a pile of cash and then another pile of cupcakes. See which one
That's
they go
true. Like,
for.
here's your reward.
Yes. We got one more challenge for you. You can take your $100,000, which we have stacked right here, or this 100,000 tons of
$100,000 worth of cupcakes.
So what I was, and I at some point in this season realized it, is that like there is more to being healthy than just how little you weigh.
Yeah.
But like these people are going to get healthy, but then also at one point, somebody said like this is a weight loss competition, and that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
So like it's okay that that's all they care about,
Well,
I guess, because that's why they're giving them the money.
Well, that's also
or
why
what it's based on.
That's also why they put, the daily vitamins and stuff that you need in hydroxycut.
Exactly.
Yeah,
They
like,
had a doctor who basically signed them off to do things and like said you are healthy or you are not healthy enough to do this particular activity.
Yeah.
And actually the chick who won put on like 19 pounds of muscle.
yeah.
She lost like 138
She looked-
pounds and
No,
put
she
on
started looking pretty
19
good.
pounds
She
of
looked real
muscle.
good like halfway through the season.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, damn.
It's insane. Like
So
how
she
good
was
she
always kind of. I guess she always had kind of an athletic thing because she won all the competitions and
yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Well, and Jillian, I love Jillian Michaels.
Well, Jillian Michaels was in love with her.
Oh
She wanted
God,
to eat her
she's
box.
fabulous. Ryan, she's married. Jillian Michaels is married.
Oh, man.
No, but Jillian Michaels has said, she's like, do you know why Danny won? Is because she like showed up every day and like she worked harder than everyone there, and that's why she looks amazing.
Yeah. Bob also said something this season that I loved to death that you can apply to really anything in life. It was like near the beginning of the season.
Is that
Somebody
guy
was-
gay?
At one
The
point,
fact, the fact that Ryan asked that question, I knew the answer, and I've never seen the show.
somebody's passing out because they can't work out, and Bob runs over to him and is like, all right, I want you to remember this moment right now, and remember how bad you feel. And after this whole show is over, and you've lost the weight, and you're healthy, and you're sitting around thinking, you know what, I need to eat bad again. I need to slip into my old ways. I want you to remember this moment right here, and remember how bad you feel, and think, that.
Yeah.
and I like that stuck with me because you can apply that to really anything.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so
Well,
I-
those
I
people are
like
really
that.
encouraging. I mean,
Yeah. Oh, it's really inspiring.
it is.
Like,
Yeah.
I can't do that.
Especially Dolvet. I love Dolvet.
Oh yeah. How much do you love him, honey? Christ Almighty.
Everything we watch, I like to pick out like a handsome man and just
And just
Annoy
rub him
my
in Ryan's
boyfriend,
face.
yeah.
Like, this guy's thinner than you.
Yeah, you're fat and Dolvet is black and muscular.
Oh.
his teeth are really, really white too. I was really impressed by that.
man. Before we move on, though, if you go to the Progressive website and put in Real Nerds as the promo code, that took you a second.
Is that all you watched, Laura?
Yeah, I live under a rock.
Yeah,
I know that's why I'm
Trying to
surprised
think
you
if I
watched
watched
something.
anything else. I watched
that was good though. We talked about that
Justin
more than
Timberlake hosted SNL this week for the third time, and it's like
Fifth.
fifth time. Yeah, and it's like this big deal,
It
and
is.
he was fabulous. And they had like a lot of cameos from other hosts. And
And he's
if you
gonna-
haven't seen it, look it up. It's on Hulu. It's
he's
really,
gonna be
really
pushing
funny.
Steve Martin soon.
He is the Billy Crystal of the Saturday Night Live.
You
If
mean
Steve
the-
Martin
you mean
was
the
on it.
Steve Martin of I don't know.
Billy Crystal of the Oscars
Yeah.
was the reference.
I know.
I'm sorry.
I apologize.
I
I'll go home
apparently
now.
messed it.
Yeah. Cool.
Hey, well, and I watched some reruns of Dr. Phil and stuff. So
Oh god. Why would they rerun it?
they
What is
play
wrong
it
with
every
you?
morning for like 3 hours on OWN.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I cannot stand Dr. Phil because they take people who have actual, real, terrible, miserable problems and they sensationalize it.
Yeah, but then I get to watch it while I fold laundry.
Yeah, but I would rather watch like The People's Court to have that
No.
moment in my day where I think like
No.
no,
Maury.
where I think like my life is so messed up and then I can turn on the TV for 5 minutes and go, no, my life's all right.
No, forget that. Just watch Maury. Just go right to the gutter. Like
Go to my husband comes home stinking like you know what? Like,
No, all it is Amori is like baby
Yeah.
daddy now.
sorry, you haven't
Yeah.
seen that GIF?
yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
it's pretty good.
Brad, what'd you watch?
Brad, would you watch? Oh, give him a mic that's not. He takes Laura's mic, switches mics with her, and then breaks it in half.
Yeah.
We
The
got to buy a new
incredible-
mic now.
No, let's see how it works with out the top on.
Without the top on.
Yeah, it works better.
This reminds me.
Everything was better without
have
the
you
top.
seen the pictures where they take like the Furby apart? This is what this reminds me of. It's like the Furby
Wait,
with like the
what?
eyeballs hanging out.
Oh yeah, it's like this
Oh,
horrible
yeah.
mechanical.
Have you seen a bear
construct.
with all its hair shaved off?
Remember they used to say that Furbies like the ones from the 90s were so complex inside that they could like launch nuclear missiles.
Oh my God!
What?
My nephew
No?
is 2 or 3, and he got a what's it called? He got a breakdancing Mickey Mouse that actually breakdances.
Nice.
It will flip over onto its hand, and then the weights inside will shift, and it will stand on its hand and just spin on its hand. I shat my pants. It was amazing.
Oh,
I've
wow.
never seen anything quite like that.
It's time to breakdance,
Why?
folks. Ha-ha.
Exactly. That's
This
exactly
is-
what it was saying.
This is
But
why
I
if
bet
you
your nephew played with the box instead.
No, he was actually terrified of it, but he really liked to watch it.
yeah.
Like he moved away from it.
Man,
Wow.
kids these days. I was just putting
I
like
know.
little donuts over a little post when I was a kid. And
yeah.
That is the dumbest toy.
It reminds me
it
of
taught me how to stack things.
if you watched last week's Comic Book Men, where they're talking about like finding stickers in cereal boxes and how much fun that was when they were a kid, and like why do kids not do that anymore? Yeah, because they have spinning. Well, Kevin Smith says because they can go on the internet and watch a dude have sex with 3 horses. But it's also because they have Mickey Mouse toys that can stand on one hand and flip and do
Kids
shit.
have
like,
iPhones and spinning Mickey Mouses.
Yeah.
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 Man.
They can go on the internet and listen to people say "fuck."
You.
Whoa. Anyway, Brad, what have
Brad,
you
what'd
been
you
watching?
Oh yeah, what did I watch? So I'm in season 6 of Deep Space Nine,
Cool.
and
Nerd.
yeah, exactly. I'm a real nerd.
Bah.
Heyo.
That's the show name.
I love when they say the show name.
The last half,
Olympus has fallen.
Oh yeah.
the last half of season 5, where Gul Dukat takes back Deep Space Nine,
Yeah.
and the first part of season 6 is amazing.
Yeah.
It's a really good plot
That's actually
line.
where I fell off.
That's where you fell out. You
Yeah,
haven't watched anything
that's
since
where I
then?
am. No. It's just where like I had watched 6 seasons of the show in a month, and I stopped watching for a while. But yeah,
Yeah.
So it is. It's great.
So that's where I'm at with that. Yeah, that whole it's fantastic. So
Yeah.
it's kind of following the same path as Next Generation, where first 3 seasons are pretty good, gets better in 4, 5 is incredible, and it's also 7 seasons. So I'm just
ends with a bang.
I'm imagining 6 and 7 are just kind of ride out to the end.
Yeah.
And then a couple weeks ago I watched The Sitter and forgot to talk about it.
Oh, that's right.
I got that movie because you told me you watched it. I'm like, it's one of my dollar ones, so I picked it up.
So you've been waiting to buy it, and then I said I saw it
Yeah,
and
I was-
liked it. You're
I was
like, I'm going to
oh.
finally buy it.
Yeah,
then.
so that was
I won't be ashamed.
a
Because-
push off the ledge I needed.
Because you weren't on the episode where we reviewed
Yeah, I
it.
missed that one. You guys saw it by
okay.
yourselves.
Yeah.
What's the sitter?
Well,
It's Jonah Hill.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Adventures in Babysitting in the 2000s.
yeah, with Jonah Hill.
With Jonah Hill.
Sure.
And crude humor and naughty language.
And like a really
And that's my favorite part of the movie is the naughty language and the
Naughty language. Well, especially when little kids use it, it makes it even better.
yeah. It's that contrast of real super innocence and like really naughtiness all at the same time.
Yeah, Jonah Hill, super innocence mixed with the kids.
Yeah.
with the kids who are really naughty.
Watching it again, there's parts that I forgot. When the phone rings at the beginning, it says, "Mom, the phone. You gonna get that?" And he doesn't get up to answer the phone. And when he checks out the older lady's boobs and stuff,
Yeah.
it's just classic Jonah Hills.
Because it's a comedy, like I can't specify specific jokes. Like
Yeah.
it's one after another, and most of the humor comes from the kind of dialogue that he says.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
a lot of it might be ad libbed. So I if you like crass crude humor, it's for you. Otherwise, like the story's nothing to write home about.
Well, I remember that movie having a surprising amount of like heart to it. Like there's the little kid who
It's
may or may not be gay, and like
that was actually an interesting. Like I did not see that
yeah,
as being part of that movie.
And Sam Rockwell's really funny as the coke dealer.
Yeah.
yeah.
Which I had no idea. It's
I
always
know.
great to see Sam Rockwell
When he
pop up in
just
a movie.
shoots the guy in the roller skates.
Yeah.
He was my 7th best friend. Now imagine what I do to my 8th best friend.
He's like if Michael Scott went off the edge and became a drug dealing
exactly.
murderer. Yeah. Yeah, so the story's not super different from, Adventures of Babysitting, but there are things like the one kid being gay,
Yeah.
dealing with that in a sentimental way, and then the girl being like into the glam culture is really annoying,
Mhm.
but it makes sense.
yeah,
in the context
all
of her
girls are
world.
really into
And I love how some of this, like at the end, because there's the woman he's babysitting for, her husband is cheating on her, So he gets to turn that around on him.
Yeah.
It's really satisfying.
Last thing I do is take advice from a piece of shit like
Yeah.
I'm watching you. That's good.
Yeah.
Might be to scratch or two in your car.
And that's it. That's all I got. So
Cool. Good times. Hey, we need to pay bills. Words from our sponsors.
Oh no, some scary clown squirted water all over my comics.
Never fear, son! In Colorado, there is one place to go for all your comic needs. Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics.
Oh boy, thanks, Coins, Cards, Comics, man. Oh no, there's a lady hanging off that building. Can you save her?
I can't save her, but you can also save 20% by getting a hold slot at Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics.
Oh no, she's falling.
Did you know prices are also falling on back issues at Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics?
Thanks for saving me, Coins, Cards, Comics guy. Now I can buy my son the card games he wants and the sports memorabilia my husband wants.
That's correct, ma'am. Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics knocks it out of the park. So visit 6700 Wadsworth Boulevard in Arvada, Colorado. They're open Tuesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And tell them the real nerd sent you.
For barbecue that can't be beat, try Birdman Barbecue Sauce. Available and original and spicy. These robust, full-flavor sauces have the awesome power to kick your taste buds in their face. And for that smoking taste on everything you eat, try new Birdman Smokin' Rub. Caution! Meat left unrubbed may suffer from flavor performance anxiety. You can pick up Birdman Barbecue at local area Ace Hardware stores, Ruff's Barbecue in Golden, and the Danny Cash Hot Shop off Broadway. You can also like us on Facebook at Birdman BBQ.
speaking of sponsors, I want to get something in before I forget about it. Tuesday is another open screen night. So, so if you're a filmmaker and you want to go show your stuff on a big screen at the Oriental Theater, you can do that on Tuesday. It's at 8 o'clock, but you should be there at least by 7 to start handing in something. You can just walk in with a disc and turn in, and they'll probably show it. It doesn't usually fill up.
Unless it's like porn that you stole from the internet. Like
they'll pretty much show anything. I mean,
are you
submitting
something?
I am. I'm not sure yet. Probably a music video.
Cool.
But
what if you just bring in an episode of like Breaking Bad? What would they do?
I haven't seen this good one yet, so nobody comment on it while we're watching it. Okay.
This is the one where they melt a guy in acid.
They often
the
do,
one
like,
time they do it.
Before you get there, they usually do show like a classic movie or something while people are like getting seats and stuff. So it's also $5. Don't forget. I almost forgot that.
What's that, Brad?
I was totally gonna go, and then no, I'm just kidding.
Oh, you can't spare
have
$5
$5
to see some support some local film and stuff. Yeah,
That's cool.
And like, there's regulars there, and they have web series stuff that it's pretty funny. So
Definitely check it out.
Series.
it's worth checking out. So
Cool.
thought I'd pimp that out.
Absolutely. Huh. What can I watch next week on Blu-ray?
DVD releases and Blu-rays.
Oh, was that a?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
like you know, you always know when a movie is really popular with old people because it's the number a DVD is outselling a Blu-ray online.
Oh, that's true.
And
Yeah.
This week Lincoln comes
man.
out on DVD. And
I'll tell
Blu-ray.
you.
Wow.
I'll tell you the other reason though, because I saw the price for the Blu-ray combo on Amazon. And I was like, I just went ahead and pre-ordered it, and then I went ahead and canceled my pre-order like right away because what I realized was I was excited because I thought, oh, good, they're not going to pull the bullshit that they pulled with Warhorse. Like, okay,
By doing something awesome.
Yeah.
there is this, there's a regular combo pack out there at a regular reasonable price. No, sure enough, same thing. There's a 4-disc version that's $31. That is the only version that has the special feature. That's all they're doing. They're only holding back the special features disc and the digital copy, but nobody cares about that. They're basically charging you $7 for the special features.
$7 extra for being a super Spielberg fan.
Oh, come on.
They've been doing that for years. Like with the DVDs, like there was always like, a 2-disc terminal and then the 4-disc one with the soundtrack in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but then I can choose. Then at least I can get this.
Or the
if I
2-disc
want
War
and not.
Worlds and
Like,
huh?
No,
Yeah,
I think
I-
it's really shitty, and I think it's shitty that they're only doing it on Spielberg movies.
Must be it's the way he does it because even the terminal. I mean, they had just the movie disc, and then you had to get the special edition to get anything else.
Yeah. And then there's that extra special one,
Mm-hmm.
the fold out. I mean, it sucks. Like
it sucks,
if-
Yeah.
but they do that on purpose because some people don't want to buy, they don't care about special
No.
features, where people like us care about special features.
Right, but what they're doing is they're doing it on purpose because they know they can get an extra $10 out of people who actually love the thing they made. That's what they're doing. They're doing it because they know that they have a thing and they can just make lots of money on it for no.
But my dad,
Blu-ray
might
should
love
not be
it.
$31.
I know my dad might love it, but he's not gonna. He doesn't care about special features.
No,
Right.
I'm in
So
the
then-
same way. I have movies that I absolutely love, and I have the shittiest copy of it because I don't care about the special
So
features.
then
I will
give-
never watch special features ever.
So then give them a copy that's like just a Blu-ray for $15. Like what?
A 3D Blu-ray for like a Pixar movie is like $31, $35.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a 4-disc thing.
and that's dumb too. But partially why that's dumb is because then they do that because in 3
Well,
months
do you want-
Disney's going to put that in the vault. Like,
Do you want Paul Salmon not to get paid for the EPKs he shoots? Well, then don't pay for the extra
Those
money
people-
for the special features.
those people all get paid before that movie releases.
Yep, because you paid for the special edition one.
No, because the EPKs were being made.
Well, you paid
not-
for the special edition of Warhorse.
I paid
You
for-
really didn't. But if you would have got the 4-disc one, then you would have known that you supported his 4-disc Lincoln.
Speaking of Spielberg,
punch
I
them.
believe
Anyway,
Jurassic Park is
there's-
coming out on
You're
Blu-ray
close.
this week.
Yeah.
again.
Yeah. Jurassic Park is coming out.
Also, parental guidance.
what do you
the
mean
$80
again? Is
million
it-
movie moneymaker for Billy Crystal.
Yeah.
Is the Jurassic Park a different release or just a re-release of the one that was like 6 months ago?
It's the separate ones.
Yeah.
It's you can just buy.
Oh, so I
Jurassic
could just
Park.
buy 1 and 2.
Yeah,
Ah,
but you already had
but I already watched them.
yeah.
recently.
Once you've seen 3, you might as well just pay for it because what more can it do to you?
Spinosaurus is so much cooler than a
I'm
Tyrannosaurus
gonna
Rex.
punch you.
Said nobody.
Nice save, bro.
Thanks.
So, Killing Them Softly, which is that Brad Pitt movie we saw and reviewed, comes out next week. Like you said, parental guidance. The second season of The Borgias.
Are you still watching that?
Yeah, well, I'm really excited the Blu-ray comes out because that means that in the next month the new season will start. I'm waiting very impatiently. The movie The Comedy, which is that movie
You saw that,
starring Tim
I missed
and,
it. Yeah.
starring Tim and Eric from Tim and Eric.
That's not a
But
comedy.
it's not a comedy. That movie is out this week, as well as Sex Squatch, The Legend of Bloodstool Creek. Yeah.
And there's a Bigfoot
Squatch.
smashing a used condom for the
Yeah.
DVD
I don't
art.
know that it's used. It just is a
That
condom.
sounds like one that we should pick up.
Well, first we're going to get
No.
Bigfoot's Wild Weekend, and then we'll think about Sex Squatch.
Sex Squatch.
Well,
Like I think this is going to be a whole new genre
Well,
of like.
exactly. That's what's scary is Bigfoot's Wild Weekend must have sold well enough where this is a subgenre where they
There's a
can make.
rip-off of
In the next- in the
those guys
next-
are really successful.
In the
I
next
can
2
do that.
months, we have to film another
There's a whole
Yeti sex movie.
there's a Bigfoot porn section
Yeah.
burgeoning.
Well, I don't even know that it's porn. It's well, at least Bigfoot's Wild Weekend looked like it was just like Bigfoot killing ladies with no tops on.
I don't know, but wasn't he smiling when he was like his arms?
Oh,
around
you're right.
ladies?
You're right. It was actually just the Sasquatch version
Those girls
of
banging
Porkies.
Bigfoot?
yeah.
Well, he
So
probably
this
has a
one,
big dong.
Yeah.
this one is really just
You know what
like
they say about big feet, right?
yeah, lots of hair.
Well, he better be packing because that's one goofy looking.
How weird do you feel when you're able to walk into a Best Buy or whatever, and you go to the DVD section and you can buy in the DVD section Lincoln and Sex Squatch, Bloodstool Creek or whatever.
The
Like,
legend,
and-
the
and-
legend
When am I gonna
of
pick
Bloodstool
up?
and
Creek.
like I think about this a lot, and this is not like immune or isolated to films. Like this happens with books and video games and this all the time. But it just like,
Yeah.
what is happening with the world that Sex Squatch, Bloodstool, Pinata Shark 3 comes out?
I'd pay to see that movie.
Yeah,
There's a man who's not seen Father's Day, is what I'm thinking right here.
Oh man,
What is- what-
I'm no Dan. Do not watch Father's Day.
Father's Day.
No,
It's a good time.
don't say it that way.
No, I'm like mentally saving it so I can
yeah,
go look it up.
no, don't. Yeah,
You can't find it because no one purchased it.
you can find it
Except Brad.
actually. You can buy it cheaper than Brad paid for it now. But you shouldn't do that.
If it's anywhere in stores, it's between B and F or B and L. Bigfoot and Lincoln. It's Father's Day F. I messed that up.
What movie did most North American people pay to see next week? We'll tell you right now.
This is the box office stats.
Oz the Great and Powerful repeated as the number one movie of the week.
Yeah.
42 million?
Yeah, just a little under 42.
The movie we saw, The Incredible Wonderstone, tanked at 10.1.
What the
Yeah.
hell, America?
Well, but here's the thing. That movie only cost $30 million. They made 10. Hopefully, word of mouth will be like, "Hey, this was really good," and it'll get better.
But it got
yeah,
beat
it's
by
not
The
great,
Call.
but yeah, that's the problem. The problem is people went to see The Call.
Okay, I want you to stick your hand out. I want to know see if anybody notices you. They tell you the whole plot of the movie.
If you're stuck
Yeah,
in the
I've
trunk of a car, that is exactly what you should do.
Yes.
Well, I heard that there is a apeshit crazy ending to the movie. That's why people went to go see it.
Oh man.
Also, kidnappers are more popular than magicians.
Which is
Well, that's
weird.
true, but that's
ranked.
It's a shame, and you should go see Burt Wonderstone and make that movie make more money.
Yeah.
The Call.
Telling me I have no more money.
Do you
The
think
Call
if I
also-
say my favorite film of the year, they'll rebrand the marketing and put my quote on there?
They should.
The Call also only cost $13 million. And
No,
I bet
but-
it shows.
But you need to make
Ooh.
the
You haven't seen
you
it.
need
You
to
don't
make
know.
your quote, really generic, like Steve Carell hasn't been this funny since The Office, so people can have an association with what he's done before.
Hey, I've watched The Office.
Speaking of bad quotes, did you see the SimCity box quote that was up at the top? It said, "Explore a world of endless possibilities," and then underneath it was a quote, "The possibilities are endless." That's on the SimCity box.
Oh man!
Wow, it's
Unfortunately, the possibilities end as soon as you try to log into a server.
Oh,
Oh.
whoa!
EA dig.
Shots fired! Jeez.
Unspool the real news.
It's real news.
Well, the most important thing this week
Very important.
is that Paramount is working on Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters 2, which is
Really,
great.
the most important?
Yeah, are you kidding me? Yes. This is the best news I've heard in
I
a
want
while.
to see a Victorian Gatling gun blow away a witch again. I mean, that's all I care about
Yeah.
in life, really.
Yeah.
And a blood moon.
I want more of that movie. I
That's
really
so
do.
badass.
Probably actually the most interesting thing this week. The thing that I read it and I was like, oh shit. Robert Redford is going to be in the next Captain America movie.
Is he? Or is that just a maybe?
It's a maybe. All right.
What if
fine.
he? Okay,
But-
this is my theory.
But
Are you
I
ready
think
for
it
this?
should happen. What?
He's the original Nick Fury, and Samuel L. Jackson took over, and Nick Fury is just the name of the leader of Shield.
Oh, dude, that
That'd
man,
be cool.
That's
It's like G.I. Joe.
Dude, I should be part of Marvel Entertainment. Come on, Marvel, call me.
But wait.
Seriously.
As part of that job, do they have to gouge one of your eyes out?
No, it's
Like
not
is
necessary.
that? It's like the hand of Vishnu.
No,
like
but-
you have
but
to.
Wait, what if they're not missing an
Vecna.
eye, but the eye patch has a computer built into it where he can
Oh,
use
he's
to
like
pick out
the-
targets and stuff.
So he's
and-
like the Borg. Yeah,
sure, whatever. I
Sure.
don't watch Star Trek.
Sure. Okay. I could. Yeah.
Whatever you say, sir.
I just think it's cool because in my mind, like young Robert Redford is.
Classy.
No, but like he is Captain America. Like
Yeah.
it's one of those where I would like to see that. Also, anytime Robert Redford's going to be in a movie, I will be excited. Yeah, there's not a lot of other stuff. Do you guys have anything before we? I got a couple more things, but because I don't remember if there was anything really big, but
Nope.
there is this whole thing. So there's this movie called Jane Got a Gun. Don't know why it's not Janie Got a Gun. Maybe I don't know.
Aerosmith.
Because they don't want to pay money to Aerosmith? maybe?
Yeah, but why not just fork over the cash and like have them anyway? Because otherwise the title just seems weird. But it's this little sort of indie movie that's funded by some rich guy, and Lynn Ramsey just sort of on the first day she was set to direct. On the first day of the shoot, she just didn't show up, and that movie is like falling apart in front of our eyes, and it's really weird because like. Actors are just leaving and deciding not to be in the movie, and money is getting sunk. And
Was there no nanny there for Jude Law?
Remember
Remember when he slept with a nanny like 10 years ago?
yeah. The shame of it is and it's true. Like there are hundreds of people who work on that set and whose job it is to make that movie, and they are now just sort of in
Weird.
the wind. Yeah, and so far we know nothing about it, so we can't say like, maybe Lynn Ramsey died. I don't know. Maybe she has a good reason, but it just seems true. It just seems
That's
really
horrible than her leaving the movie, James.
Yeah. Not good enough.
Yeah. Oh, you're dead. Forgiven. It's a movie that like there's been a lot of news over the last 6
I'm sure
months.
that's comforting to her family that you forgive them.
And I don't even know what the movie's about.
Yeah.
I guess a girl gets a gun.
Credits.
Or a dude named Jane.
And it's the last time her dad's going to touch her.
Yeah.
Because she will shoot him and dump his body by a train track.
I also wanted to bring this up just because I want to ask you a follow-up question. So David,
Words by Steven Tyler. Music by Steve
That's
Perry.
right. You did quote lines from that song. We could get.
Yeah.
We could owe them.
You didn't catch that before?
I'll just cut it out.
No, I gave credit. And I did.
Just because you gave credit doesn't mean you're off
And it
the
was a
hook
parody
for paying
because I
him.
didn't say it verbatim.
yeah. I photo.
I didn't say, what did her daddy do?
No. I'm shutting this down. Shutting it down.
You get 30
No,
seconds,
all you
don't you?
have to do
I
is
know.
what the adult films do, where you sing it and then you go, "This is Jane's Got a Gun." Parody.
All right. Earlier you said you wanted to be the new Vanilla Ice. All you got to do is make it. Is just change it so it's like duh 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 duh. But your version is like duh 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 duh. But it's that itty bitty change. It's that itty bitty change. That's what he always said. It was the itty bitty change.
Under stressful.
Oh man.
Fuck you, David Bowie.
David S. Goyer is going to make a Dark Knight-esque
And your
version
son, Duncan Jones.
of Count of Monte
You
Cristo.
Moon's awesome.
I bring this up because have you guys seen the Jim Caviezel Count
Yeah.
of Monte Cristo?
Yeah.
I have.
Do you
yeah.
like that movie?
It's a good
Yeah.
movie.
I really like that movie.
Saw it a while
Although,
ago.
yeah,
And like the
haven't seen
changes
it
that they make to
since
the
2002.
story, I think are really good.
I just remember I liked the
I like the
choreography
the
of the
actual book, too.
the sword fights or whatever. Was
Oh
going
yeah,
on.
yeah, the sword fights are really
There's
good.
a book.
Oh, you dumbass.
Yeah.
We just did the same joke.
Yeah, we did.
That was pathetic.
Yeah,
You
we
guys
did.
want to hold hands and
You two are
We already
Vaudeville
are
assholes.
holding hands. Come on.
Yeah, you can't see
we can't
it, but
hold,
we're doing
We
it.
can't hold hands more than we already are. Anyway, that's all the news.
Awesome.
Really? They didn't pick out a Ninja Turtle this week? All right, fine.
They did pick a Ninja Turtle, but you keep telling me that movie's not going to happen, so I just figured
We'll
it's not
see.
news.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're getting closer.
It's my turn.
Like I said, we don't talk a lot about casting news because it changes so much. And he's some guy I've never really heard of, so
Yeah.
it
I don't like the idea of them all being CGI mocap, so
get used to it.
yeah.
It's
a
gonna
shame.
happen.
Well,
That's why- that's
where the
the-
wild things are, people wearing costumes, animated face. Makes more sense to me.
Yeah. If it were Spike Jonze's version of
The turtles are all really
Ninja Turtles,
depressed.
which would
and
be great. Like, yeah, there's a whole
fighting
sequence
each
that's just
other.
about like
You know,
how
that's a-
Raphael's sad because his parents got divorced. Like, oh man, I would watch that movie.
That's a movie I always want to see again because the Blu-ray is like $6
Yeah,
for Where the Wild Things Are, but I never can do it.
that movie gets no
'Cause I
love.
did.
Raphael's
like
like, my parents were separated. Like, yeah, they took them out of the container, put them in 2 different terrariums. not really a divorce.
Yeah,
It's my turn to pick the comic, guys.
it is.
What's up, nerds? It's the Comics Corner.
What?
You're,
Is there a ghost?
What were you pointing at?
There's a ghost.
No, I was pointing because I was like, wait, isn't Brad supposed to read The Boys at some point?
Yeah,
take
I
us
don't
out
have
my
it,
place.
so I don't
Oh,
know
okay.
why
He left it there.
Oh,
'cause-
okay.
you guys
never
all
mind.
just like looks around the room like my dogs do when you shake a bag of treats. Like,
What?
what's going on?
So
Yeah.
I have a comic, and
Very cool.
I usually don't do these comics, but
Oh,
I
you mean
highly,
non-Spider-Man books?
I highly recommend Batman: Death of the Family
Oh.
because it was fantastic. A lot of people took issue with the last couple issues, but I actually thought it was pretty brilliant.
So when is this from? Did this just happen?
Yeah, just recently. I think the new
it's been like the last 6 months of
Yeah.
Batman's run.
It was 5 parts, and the whole story is the Joker returns. I read a new Batman story like once every 5 years, and I know that at the beginning of the New 52, the Joker got his face cut off.
Yeah.
It wasn't the New 52. It was back before the New 52. I think when Batman and Robin started, because
So
there's
what's
a
the point of relaunching if it's like continuity from the previous?
Well, Batman was
They
doing
had-
really good, so they didn't mess with Batman that much. But the books that weren't doing well, they like Power
They just
Girl,
renumbered
They
Batman?
just killed.
yeah, Batman's basically renumbered. They are changing a few things, but
well, yeah, Barbara is
the people writing on it were like, well, we like the story as it is, so we're not going to change anything. But
Yeah.
there's a character called Professor Pig, and I think one of the early Batman and Robins
Mhm.
before the New 52, where they captured the Joker and he cut his face off, and then he just disappeared for like 2 years.
Yeah, and he just reappears in the first part in the first couple pages, and he's looking for his face that Gotham Police Department has, and he starts killing all the cops there, breaking their necks.
Did they
In the
keep
dark.
it on ice or something? Like why?
Yeah, that's a little weird. Like
Yeah.
you think it would just decay or just
Like they're spending all this money to like mist it and
Well,
like keep
it's in a
it controlled
Ziploc bag,
environment.
so I
No,
guess
I
it's
think
really
they're-
fresh.
No, they're keeping it for
Send me
evidence because
money,
they're trying
Ziploc.
to figure out who he
Is
was.
it a freezer bag or a storage bag?
It's a comic book, James.
Jeez,
I'm
come
trying to-
on.
I'm trying to do a Ziploc commercial. Shut up.
But
Yeah.
but the great thing about it is it
REO.
Jesus Christ, James. The great thing about it is it deals with his psychology towards Batman. It's not really. There's not very many bombshells in it, but the banter between Batman and Joker is really good. You know, there's a whole comic book where they're on a dam where their first encounter happened, and it's just them talking back and forth, and it's brilliant.
I like Snyder's take on like delving into the relationship where the Joker needs the Batman to like be like help his
Exactly.
identity, like validate his identity.
And there's that.
And in this saga, it's the Joker thinks that Batman's like the king of Gotham,
Mhm.
and he's his jester, and
Yeah, and it's really because what makes the books good too is they have the 22-page standard story. Then each book has a backup story where the Joker's recruiting different villains to help him. And the Harley Quinn one broke my heart because he tricks Batman. Harley Quinn dresses up as the Red Hood, which was the Joker before he was the Joker, and at the end she's crying because the Joker's so mean to her. And then the backup story was the Joker wanted her to cut off her face too. And she was going to do it, and then he was just teasing her because he's playing a joke on her. But the psychological damage it did to her was awesome. But what's cool too is the arc is so good in it, and as the books progress, the Joker's face actually did start decaying, and he'd have to have more hooks to keep the smile going.
there's always like flies buzzing around him.
Yeah, and it got brown, and it's
that's messed up.
and my favorite part. I'm going to spoil the end of the book. It's been out for 3 months. Is
3 weeks.
3 weeks? No, because they just released the other one.
The last one?
Yeah.
That hasn't been 3 months.
Well, whatever. So, okay, a month.
Time has passed.
Time has passed. So, there's a whole subplot where Batman finds the Joker's card in the Batcave after the first encounter, meaning the Joker was inside the Batcave and left it there. But Bruce is convinced that it's just a trick that the Joker's playing. And then he tells at the end of the story after Alfred comes back, he says, this is why I know he was never in there, because he went to Arkham Asylum as Bruce Wayne, and he went to the Joker's cell and he put up the card and he says, I think this belongs to you. And then Batman's monologue, he says, and he looked right through me and didn't give a shit of who I was. He only cares that I'm Batman. He doesn't see Bruce Wayne, he only sees Batman. And the art is so
cool.
good, and the Joker's so terrifying at that part where it doesn't matter. Who cares who Bruce Wayne is? And he played this huge psychological game where he's attacking each member of the Bat family, and he didn't care. And it's really good.
And what
That
destroys
sounds
the
really
family is the other, like Robin, Nightwing. They all start to distrust Batman because he didn't tell them about the Joker being in the cave.
So it's a metaphor. The death of the family isn't because what the Joker did. It's what Bruce did by lying to him. So you should pick it up. It's really good. I was going to wait for the trade.
I forget what the Riddler, what did he end up doing? Because he has that supplemental story, but then
He didn't want to get out because, oh man, why didn't
but
he
the
want to
Joker
get out?
wanted him to do something. I forget what it is.
Oh yeah, I can't remember. It was really good though.
Damn.
But his was really good because the Joker was telling him, he says, dude, you can get out. I know you can. And so he's going to poison him, and so he had to get out of his cell. And Batman also fought Clayface, and it was really good.
Yeah, Mr. Freeze.
Mr. Freeze. So you should definitely check it out. If you can still find the issues. I was lucky at Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics, and Andrew was able to scare up all 5 of them for me.
He's pretty good at that.
And yeah, and the art in it's, man, I love the art. The final cover for the final part is hauntingly beautiful.
When the trade comes out,
Mm-hmm.
can I get it cheap somewhere?
Absolutely. You can probably get 20% off at Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics.
Oh, that's cool.
Awesome. So this week we saw Olympus Has Fallen. Lori, should people go see Olympus Has Fallen? Dan, should people go see Olympus Has Fallen?
Yes.
Brad?
Interesting.
I don't know. It's hit and miss for me.
It's fascinating.
James? people go see Olympus Has Fallen?
Definitely, if you're one of the people who went and saw Die Hard and was like, yeah, this is shit, yes, absolutely you should. If you're somebody who wants a new Die Hard movie, then yes, absolutely you should. It's pretty good. I really had fun with it.
Yeah, I had fun with the movie too. Here's the trailer.
Good evening, Mr. President. 5 minutes, sir. Evening, ma'am.
Merry Christmas, Mike.
Mustang, this is Big Top, bringing out the full package.
Where'd that come from?
Everybody knows you did the right thing on that bridge. Even the president knows. You gotta learn how to get back into the real world.
Mr. President, we're ready for you.
Our guests have arrived.
I'd like to welcome you to the White House, sir. Sir, there's been an intrusion. Let's go. Move.
Get out of the way! Go back!
Give me the Pentagon on the line now.
Olympus is falling. Olympus is falling. Mr. Speaker, you are the acting president.
I want to speak for the Russians, the Chinese, the British, and the French. In that order.
If you attempt to retake this building, I will execute
Your commander-in-chief.
Oh my God.
We have contact from inside the White House.
Identify yourself.
309er.
Jesus, Banning?
The same guy that was removed from the president's detail?
He is ex-Special Forces.
40 commandos breached the gate. 28 are left. Can we trust him? With all due respect, I'm the best hope you've got.
Abort! Abort! We're talking about the safety of the President of the United States.
We're talking about a hell of a lot more than that, sir. Just open the gates of hell.
The United States of America doesn't negotiate with terrorists.
Who said anything about negotiating?
It was cool. I mean, it has some cheesy action parts.
Oh, yeah.
I think the biggest draw for me was the special effects weren't very good in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
A lot
yeah.
of painted on
Looked
stuff.
a little rough.
When I was telling Dan after the movie, like the thing that was most distracting to me is that a lot of it is shot in the everything is very dark. For the bulk of the movie, like when they're inside, the lights are always off. When they're outside, it's nighttime. And my wonder is that maybe they looked at the effects budget they had and they were like, okay, this is gonna look like shit. Let's just always have it be dark. That's the only reason. Because for me, it was like distracting that like I couldn't always see things very well. And the CG is
and
not
I mean, it's no
great.
surprise. I mean, it starts off where Gerard Butler plays. He's a presidential Secret Service guy, and his job is protecting the president. And on their way, there's an accident leaving Camp David during the snow, and his wife dies.
And I realized watching the movie how horrible it is that that's in the trailer.
Yeah,
because it really ruined that whole sequence. It's like with Despicable Me, where the trailer is the first 5 minutes. Like that whole first sequence, I was just like, I know what's going to happen. There's no tension here. I know why it's going to happen and where this is going to go. It was just wasting my time.
See, I kept on hoping it was going to be a John Woo movie, and his wife would be behind the whole plot. She'd turn up, and they said, "Well, how'd you?" Well, they never found a body.
It's a revenge thing.
And she rips off her mask, and she's actually Red Skull.
Since we're in that scene, like, first of all, why are they driving as fast as they are in the snow?
Yeah,
this whole accident could have been avoided.
Yeah.
And then like they slip on the bridge, but the three SUVs behind them in that overhead shot just stop. Some terrible animation. They just are able to just stop on a dime.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
that wreck
stupid.
is not very well choreographed. Like they could have figured out a way to make that make more sense. Because I also don't entirely believe that three guys couldn't hold a limousine down.
But and they have that helicopter. So why doesn't the helicopter just fly in and then sit on the trunk and keep the limousine from
Oh,
falling in the
Well, the
water.
helicopter shows up
Tow
late.
rope out of one of
No,
those
the-
SUVs.
They didn't have time. They didn't have time. They
The
didn't have time for
helicopter
that.
came way later.
Yeah, the helicopter's
They
later.
called the helicopter
But
after.
they had time to
yeah.
like hang out in the truck and like struggle.
And remember that one of them has a knife, so they could have actually started cutting the seatbelt a lot sooner. But, yeah.
I mean, you're looking for things.
I mean,
action
here's
movies.
like I said, it's a poorly choreographed scene.
We could have just started the movie with here's a president who doesn't have a wife because she's died of
Yeah.
cancer
Yeah, they,
or something.
They could have not shown us that
Yeah.
part, and part of it is
no,
like,
they had to because they
Not
had
to
us
write
set
Ashley Judd out of a movie,
the
but-
relationship between Gerard Butler and the kid.
Yeah, no, and that is true because they do a good job of that. But I think that they clearly cast Ashley Judd so that they could shock us when she dies 5 minutes in. But then if you show us in the trailer, like it's pointless,
Yeah.
Why wait till half the movie's over? Why don't you kill the leading lady 30 minutes in?
Right, that's genius, But anyway,
They did it in Psycho.
They did. I was quoting Hitchcock.
Scream does it.
They do. Oh yeah, Scream's.
yeah.
That's one of the greatest openings ever. But anyways, back to the movie we saw. But the action was badass.
Yeah.
And it's cool seeing Gerard Butler do movies like this again because he always did those stupid bounty hunter and
like Jerry Butler.
Well, good old Jerry Butler. You know.
and all of his rom-com movies.
Yeah. And when he
Hey, sometimes he goes surfing.
sometimes he chases Mavericks.
No.
But yeah, I mean, it was
He's
cool to
playing for
see him
keeps,
do
dude.
that again. And I mean, the part where the plane is flying through DC is kind of shocking, where they're just mowing down.
That's what I was talking about earlier. Like
civilians.
that whole sequence where like they're just killing people is kind of messed up,
Indiscriminately.
and the violence is pretty in your face about things. Like when people get shot, you kind of feel like you just watched somebody get shot.
But with the
yeah, like it's not in the way that like a regular Die Hard movie or like a Rambo movie is, where like people are just getting mowed down. Like it.
One of my favorite scenes is from Rambo when he jumps up on the back of the Jeep and just annihilates that dude with.
There's a hill that's constantly spawning Cambodians on the other side, and he is just like there's just hordes of Cambodians, and he's just mowing them down with a gun that never needs to be reloaded. It's fantastic. I own it.
Well, I think one thing I appreciate about this movie is usually with movies like this, like I get bored because you all know how it's gonna end. Like all these movies end exactly the same. But because the action was so intense and the violence was so crazy, I was entertained.
Yeah, and I think I jokingly have said for months now, like, oh yeah, it's going to be the best Die Hard movie of 2013, and that's very true.
I know you could totally see John McClane.
Being
that guy.
As soon as like he is alone inside the White House, and especially when he has that conversation, and they're like, okay, now we are getting into spoilers here. When he has that conversation, and they're like, okay, we need you to find the kid, and so he has a mission. He is alone. No one can help him, and he's like scavenged together some guns. Like I was like, this is a Die Hard film. Like this is all of the elements. Like
he even
it's
has
just
like
sort
a
of walking
talking to
on
Hans
glass.
Gruber through the walkie-talkie type thing.
I thought of that too. Like, this is the point where you give him a chance to talk to you and mock the bad guy.
But they also have some shocking moments where he captures those two guys. And he says, they teach me to get information out of guys like you. And then he just stabs that dude in the jaw.
I guess I'm not very good at it.
Yeah. I mean, there's some really cool parts in it.
Yeah, he has some really great one-liners.
He
Like,
does.
way better than probably the past two Die Hard movies. Like, there are some really great lines in there.
It's just fun to see. I mean, it's cool. I miss action movies like that where they have the kind of the 1980s aesthetic to them, where it's just one guy against a bunch of people and
Lots
his
of American flags.
Yeah, it was very patriotic.
Oh man!
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the
Very
melodramatic
jingoistic.
shot flag slowly floating to the ground. That was obnoxious.
You were laughing.
I was because I was like, "This is the dumbest shot."
Really, I thought the most obnoxious one was when they're dragging the secretary out and she was doing the Pledge of Allegiance.
Oh, is that what she was? I couldn't understand what she was
Ooh,
saying.
yeah. Oh man,
That's
Well,
man.
because they beat her halfway to hell first, and then
So I couldn't. I thought she was just like ranting
She
like
also
a
just
mad
seemed like
woman.
she was drunk half the time in that scene because she was almost dead.
But
Yeah.
you know,
yeah, if you have
too-
a problem with violence against women, you should
Oh
probably
yeah, I was
skip
just going
that
to mention
scene.
that because they don't hold back. That lady gets
yeah.
the shit kicked out of her.
Yeah.
And it is shocking
Well, but
when they
that-
just randomly just shoot people in the head. And
Yeah.
So, I really liked the movie,
Yeah.
and it was especially everything after, like especially once the attack starts, it just kind of goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just like starts. Like here, we're in it. Yes.
Yeah.
And that CG is pretty rough, and I feel like an idiot saying something like that because I can't do any better.
Well, yeah,
Right.
but
But
when they're professionals, you expect them.
Well,
to.
and if it takes you out of the movie, it breaks the illusion.
The
and
thing
that's
that
the problem.
destroyed the illusion for me was when they're showing the scene of the Washington Monument, and then the plane crashed over here, and it's just like a big panoramic view of everything. But then all the cars on the roads are still just driving. What the hell? What the hell is going on?
Because it's just stock footage that they put some CG into.
Nobody would be driving.
Yeah.
Everybody would be stopped at shitting their pants.
Yeah.
I think that's my biggest problem with action movies is like maybe because I'm like a medicine person, they always try to take that shit farther than they should. Like there was a guy in the hospital that had like his arm cut off, but it was like a healed stump.
Oh yeah, I noticed that.
Blood on.
I know
Wolverine.
Really quick.
That is not how that works.
Yeah, they just got a guy who only had one arm, and we're like, pretend like you only have one arm, go. And he was like, "What?"
When even like some of the
Smear
shit
some blood
the
on it and
nurses
go.
were saying to each other, I was like, "You just wanted these people to talk to each other because that is not what you would say in that situation."
I love when she gets the call from her husband, and then they're like, "It's an emergency," and she runs into the room, and she's like, "Make sure that guy gets some morphine." And I was like, "How much? Like an amount? Just
some
throw,
morphine.
Give him all the morphine.
At that guy."
And she recaps the needle. I know you guys don't understand that, but she recaps the fucking needle. You do not recap a needle.
And no one cares.
No, she's right.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah, guys, let me pick on my wife.
I noticed.
okay?
I
This is
noticed
my
all the
show.
other things. I noticed all the other things about the one-armed guy and the morphine.
Yeah, stuff like that in these movies, I don't give a shit about. My whole goal in these movies is to see one dude mow down a bunch of Koreans and be really happy about it.
Oh,
Two other things, though.
I mean, North Koreans. I'm sorry, guys.
Oh yeah.
So I have to say that, do you ever feel in movies like this it goes slightly racist because every guy who's like brown or yellow or whatever the different colors, like that's a bad guy.
Oh, you
and
mean
it's
like
always
you are
a-
just racist,
like
brown
Morgan
and yellow.
Freeman?
No,
I don't.
mean, like, every
I don't see
time-
colors, Laura. I see good and evil.
You're so full of shit, Ryan. But
Yeah,
every
you
She's
see
time-
right
good
though.
colors and evil.
When the
Every
North
time you see
Koreans
an
start
Asian
taking
guy,
over
you're
inside
like,
the
"Oh, bad guy."
bunker, like it's all of a sudden like they take off their glasses, like he's more Asian. So
That is true. That is
there
true.
was a really dramatic like
glasses reveal.
The, the music
like
got
he's Clark
really
Kent or
loud
something.
and-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, that's
Now
right.
he's all
I
pissed.
forgot
Yeah.
how cheesy that was. I remember,
all the Asian attendants, like that just seemed like, and even though there's like one mole like American guy, like there can't like all the others are Asians and they're all the bad guys.
And it's
like,
funny,
they never made
Dylan McDermott's. I'm like, that dude's the bad guy.
but they never
Before
made
he was.
excuses for it because it was clearly there to be like, well, we can't have all the bad guys be Asian.
Well, some of the Asians did get wasted too.
Yeah. One of them was the South Korean guy. Or
Oh yeah, the
whatever.
prime minister. They
that's
just
true.
killed
Yeah.
indiscriminately.
It's funny with like all of the movies like that, like you. Anytime
Yeah.
it's like a specific race or specific group, like the entire movie, like, oh, bad guy.
That's not near as racist as the fact that like when they remade what's the movie with the Wolverines?
Red Dawn.
Red Dawn. They remade Red Dawn, and originally when they shot it, they were all supposed to be the Chinese, and then they were like, well, no, they should be Korean, so they just went in and CG'd over all the Chinese symbols and made them Korean. So the actors are all still Chinese. That's way more racist.
Yeah.
Yeah. The bigger problem here is that the guy who plays the bad guy is really bad. Every line of dialogue he has is pretty
like,
bad.
I've seen him in other stuff. He's a great action star, but like he was trying to do an Asian accent. Like he's clearly an Asian American whose parents did not speak whatever language they like.
Korean.
He spoke exactly the same.
I don't think he was because he had like a Japanese accent.
I think I think he's Japanese in Fast and Furious.
Who is he in that?
In the first Fast and Furious movie, he's like the leader of the Asian gang that steals DVD players.
You're right.
Oh,
but he's also the villain in Die Another Day. The
guy that has the ice in his face.
Diamonds.
Diamonds.
I know,
but he
That's what I
speaks
meant.
exactly the same. Like that's just that guy is not a very good actor.
No, he's not.
I think,
especially if he doesn't have ice in his face.
Aaron Eckhart's badass in this movie.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, but that's one of the things that little nitpicks that I have, which is that so they're trying to get these codes out of his people, and he's basically telling them like, look, stop letting them try to kill you. Like, just tell them your codes. Eventually they'll get to me, and they'll want my code, and I just won't give it to them, and it'll be fine. So you guys don't get beat up. I'll take the beating. And I was like, cool. This is a cool like heroic thing he's doing.
Yeah.
And then we never get the payoff for that.
Well, yeah,
like,
because they outsmarted
first
him.
of all. No, but they didn't. Like this whole like, oh, suddenly we can hack it.
Well, they were showing that the whole time though, because when they had the first code, if
Yeah.
you paid attention, the bottom code was always being hacked.
Yeah, it was being like
it just felt clunky, but it's more that I wanted to see that scene where like he got to be the hero and refuse to give them the answer.
Although,
but we get robbed of that.
What they could do is they could start to threaten him. He's not giving the code. Then they just go right back to the woman and say, "Give us the code, or we'll beat her more."
Time she was gone,
you're right.
They could, even though that didn't happen, they could do that. Also,
you're right. His plan's horrible.
Yeah,
it's the worst
actually,
plan.
Like I didn't want to say James, but the other thing about the whole codes that and again, I know they had to make a movie, but they get down into the bunker. The bad guys know why they're there, and they don't immediately start trying to get these codes out of these people.
Yeah,
it takes them 8 hours to get 3 codes.
Well, yeah, it's like we're going to get the first code, and then 2 hours later, we're going to get the second code.
They need to see if Morgan Freeman was serious.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
he's pretty good. I like all the shots, especially as things get worse, and he's sitting in a chair, and he's clearly like stressed, and he's sitting there, and he's like leaning back, and his head's at an angle, and he's just like this is shitty.
He's tired. He never got his coffee.
Oh my God, he never got his coffee. I never noticed that. You're right, he didn't. Man.
So how important is the president? Like really, when the stakes that they were. Are we really just not going to bomb the White House and take everyone out? We're going to actually try to rescue the president?
They made a lot of it artificial because here's the other thing is like they also pretend like the bunker is so special that like things can only be done from that bunker, which is also not true. I mean, you
have to know that NORAD would have an override.
Yeah, like there are multiple versions of that bunker around the world, around the nation. So clearly, if because the thing at the end is like, well, he sets off this thing, and then they just bring out those codes and break that code and give John McClane the code to fix it. So clearly, the thing that's important is actually the computer, and that computer is the only one that can do it. Well, in the real world, they would have just cut the hard line and not let them have access to the computer. And then
I was hoping that was going to be a solution. Like I don't know we can't get the code in time, and then he just goes and unplugs the machine.
That would have been good. Yeah.
I
was like, no, how about we just don't let it talk to the nukes? Which also, okay, all right. When you abort a nuke, you don't blow it up in the atmosphere. They simply turn off the launch mechanism, so the nuke just lands. Like it doesn't.
It doesn't.
That's not the way we. That's not the way that we abort nukes.
Works,
yeah. Like long range nukes like that. We don't.
Well,
we don't launch
take all
them
your
at
ideas
Russia.
And write a movie script for them and see if it gets made.
It'd be the most boring movie though, because
realistic action movie.
Yeah, like
by James Hart.
Like 25 guys attack the White House. They all get killed very quickly.
Yeah, and what kind of training do they have? Like they're firing at us. Let's run out through the one corridor, upright. Like they never had any training to learn how to hide behind stuff.
Yeah.
Well, but they overcame their lack of tactics with just sheer numbers.
Throw more people at them,
which was kind of disturbing because like that scene when they're running out of the White House and those guys have like the 50 cals set up in the garbage trucks and like you're just watching NSA guys getting mowed down as they run. And I was like, oh man, this sucks. I mean, it's there for a reason because otherwise it's not Die Hard if there's more than one person in the building.
Am I a coward if I see a 50 caliber mowing down my friends? I'm just like, holy shit!
Fall
back, regroup.
I'm going out the south lawn.
Yeah.
I mean, I will fight this later, but we need a new plan.
Yeah. Let's wait till the jets show up.
And the military, I guess, takes them 15 minutes to show up, and they did.
True.
Also, Gerard Butler's sitting in his office really near where all the action is happening, but he only notices it when the guns in the big plane start firing. But a little bit before that, the two fighter jets are trying to escort the plane out of restricted airspace, and the plane shoots them down, and they crash just in neighborhoods.
Yeah.
And he didn't notice that.
Yeah.
Doesn't end up on the news right away.
He's busy doing Treasury security job.
It doesn't stress ball.
It doesn't matter. Did you see him knife that guy? Because it was really cool. Anytime he knifed a guy,
it was pretty good.
Yeah, I want video games from here on out to always let me knife guys that way. Like not this silly slashing motion, but like a quick bam. Like I just a
yeah, that was almost my favorite.
Straightforward bam right in the chest. Like oh you're dead now.
That's how backstabs work in Team Fortress 2 if you play the spy.
Oh, you're right.
If you are behind a player, he's holding the knife like this, and then he'll He'll actually like hold it like this when you get behind somebody. It's really really neat actually. So
yeah.
You know, if
That's
you
what
play
I'm
also a
Resident Evil
psychopath,
for the
apparently.
GameCube, the remake,
Do you get
your
the,
L trigger stabs zombies in the head with a knife.
It's awesome.
The Resident Evil remake.
Yeah.
Huh.
I used to let myself get captured by them, so I just jabbed that knife in their head.
You also
So I went-
could taser them.
Yep.
Yeah,
Because I always wanted to conserve my ammo for the redhead ones, so I'd let the goofy ones like try to attack me, and then just jam them in the head.
just do the incendiary grenade glitch where you can get infinite of those. Sorry that I just broke that game for you.
I like to play the games for real, guys. I don't use game genies or.
You should. They're fun.
Yeah, I don't
Play
think
Super Mario
anybody
Brothers with
uses game
Moonwalk.
genies anymore, ever.
I plugged my Game Genie into my PlayStation 3 and beat
Remember
Uncharted
the,
like
the,
that.
the
caught on
code book
fire.
you used to get, and you'd have to get the updated one. They'd mail them to you for $2.50. I remember that stuff.
$2.50. Oh,
I remember for my NES, I had the Game Genie has like that plastic extender.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The
First
gold
one right out of the
cartridge,
box, the black part that connects
Mhm.
it broke off.
Oh.
Like right away.
Yeah, that weird like triangle
Yeah.
thing that stabilized or gave it support or something. It was
So you
really
could
weird.
pull it
Just
like
to
because
show that games have been modded for
in
forever.
because it slides in horizontally, it would get stuck back there without that. You get stuck deep into the Nintendo without it. So you had to have like a little hook to pull it out with the cartridge, and that broke off right away. That was bad.
But you had to, otherwise you could never beat Mega Man 2.
Well, maybe this guy could.
I can.
Play a lot.
Quick Man stage?
No, I play it straight. I can probably beat Mega Man 2 in 40 minutes. You just have to know how to do it.
I'm in love with you.
Still working on lost levels for Mario Brothers.
Yeah,
though.
I am.
Almost there.
Almost there. Just remember, when you're fighting the dragon in Dr. Wily's level, quick boomerang kills him, like with
No,
5
Metal Blade.
shots. Huh?
Did you know that the best weapon to use against Metal Man is Metal Man's weapon?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. MegaMan2Facts.com.
It's your new website.
My new website.
Anyways, we're the Real Nerds Podcast. You can go to realnerdspodcast.com, leave comments on our page. You can download us on iTunes, listen to us streaming on Stitcher, listen to us streaming on our website. You can email us, realnerds@gmail.com. You can like us on Facebook, Real Nerds Podcast.
Yeah, which Doug Newville and Arthur Martinez just did. You guys are awesome. Thank you.
Thanks. All the new likes, tweet us at real_nerds. You can see us at Denver Comic-Con at our own booth. You can talk on our show. We will record anything you have to say.
Well, unless it's racist.
No, still record it.
Yeah, no hate speech.
Yeah, we'll still record it. We just might put
won't put it on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come out to Open Screen Night on March 25th at the Oriental Theater at 8 o'clock and watch some local film. Don't laugh.
No, I was laughing.
I wasn't laughing. He was laughing.
I was laughing because I was going to say you can say racist things, but we will only cut it into the 42 review episode.
Oh, that's harsh.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was laughing.
That's not funny, James.
You're not funny. Anyway,
until next
Open
week when
Screen
we
Night.
see G.I. Joe.
Oh, man.
Retaliation.
Yes.
Finally.
Is my boyfriend in that movie?
The Rock, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The Channing Tatum is in there?
He
oh,
is.
yeah.
He
But
dies.
no, he doesn't die anymore.
As long as he's shirtless when he dies, that's cool.
He's not shirtless and he doesn't die.
John McClane's going to make another appearance in the movie this
He
year.
is.
Yeah.
4 straight months of a movie with The Rock.
Second best Die Hard movie of the year. G.I. Joe Retaliation.
Yes, this has been a Nebulous Visions multimedia production. Bye.
Bye.